Alrighty. Let's pray.
Alrighty, you can hear the producer talking there.
A exciting weekend here at COTA, Lord. A new day in NASCAR. Father,
Thank you, Lord.
to recognize your...
This goes against my religion. I gotta mute this. It's gonna be a full day today in more ways than one for me, but I'll get to that in a bit. Let me get my stream on the phone. Make sure the audio's good. Hey, okay, that's good. All right. Circuit of the Americas for the first time ever. NASCAR. Rain all weekend. Yay, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think rain, it's going to make the racing entertaining. Part of me kind of wanted clean, clear weather so we can get a straight up, road race and see what this place is all about. You'll still get some of that. Like, it's not raining right now, but it's going to rain again here in a bit. It's going to rain the rest of the day off and on, but it hasn't rained in about an hour. So they're going to start this race on I guess it's still a damp racetrack. It looks windy and bright. The sun's not out, but it's windy and bright. That should help with the track drying a bit. But today's pick is Kaz Grala. I picked him when I saw how good he looked in practice, but I lost out on a little money. If I'd have picked him earlier, I could have got a better payout than $11. But whatever, Kaz Grala for the win. Xfinity race, safe bet. AJ Allmendinger in the rain, although Kyle Busch looked strong in Cup practice and Xfinity practice. But I'm going to go with Allmendinger, try to get the easy $6. Tomorrow, I got some thinking to do. I know it's supposed to rain again. Rain is going to factor heavily into my decision about tomorrow. I can tell you that. And if I win all 3 races, I will buy another 124 scale diecast car. I have 2 in the mail. I got 2 more. But the cool thing is, okay, one of them was like $20. It was Junior's 2001 July Daytona car. Dude sold it for like $20. So, I mean, I can't pass that up. And then the other one is the 2012 Dark Knight Rises Mountain Dew car that he won at Michigan with. And a very wonderful person bought that for me. And it will be here Monday, but the July Daytona car's coming today. So another week, more diecast cars. I just got hired to work part-time overnight at Ingles doing stocking. So I'm still doing my painting job, but because it's slow and spotty, I'm like, I need another part-time job. So I got part-time overnight at Ingles. Don't know when I'll start. I'll probably start sometime this week. I got to go back today. So here's the deal. Today, as soon as the truck race ends, I got to jump off here and run to Ingles. Then I will come back and do the Xfinity race. I shouldn't miss anything. I should not miss the start of the Xfinity race. But like I said, literally it's like, all right, whoever wins the truck race, see ya. I got to run to get over there and do the follow-up about my job interview yesterday. And then I'll be back here. So there'll be a break between races because I got to run over there. I got a full day. I'm all dressed up and looking gorgeous. They said they're going to hire me, but I got to go back and, do something. Probably piss in the cup so they can check me. That's my favorite part of the job interview process because I always pass the drug test. Job interviews and looking for jobs suck, but I'm glad this one was pretty easy. Half the shit you had to fill out was, online anyway. By the way, Todd Bodine and Phil Parsons are talking right now, but I got them muted because I don't care. Zane Smith is on the pole. I guess I should refresh NASCAR.com and get that leaderboard up while I got a minute. Like I said, Kaz Grala and AJ Allmendinger today. Worth about $17 or something. I'll take that if I can win 2 races. We're just never going to win anything. I'm the kiss of death, man. I can't win anything. Hendrick finishes 1, 2, 3, 4 last week, and I picked the guy that finished 4th. I should have seen the 48 coming, but I didn't. I know they've been good at Dover, but you see how fast James Davison was faster than Hamlin, Harvick, and Keselowski in practice today. I'm not going to pick James Davison to win because even if it's raining, he's still driving a Rick Ware racing car. But something to keep an eye on. I'm curious if they got to qualify in the rain tomorrow and he goes out and qualifies like top 5 or something, I'd consider it then. But I'm feeling Kyle Busch or AJ Allmendinger tomorrow based on the rain. Maybe Cindric. I think you could steal some money tomorrow because no matter what the weather is, Cindric and Allmendinger will not be better than 10-1 odds. They will be 10-1 at best. So, because you're not going to count out Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr. no matter what. I think Kyle Busch's odds are going to go way up based looking at practice and how he's probably going to dominate the Xfinity race today. So this is one of the most interesting weekends for betting that we've had in a while. Practice and qualifying have helped with that, but the rain has also thrown a monkey wrench into things. I remember I looked at the weather last night, and it looked like the weather forecast was improving. I'm like, okay, might get a shower or two, but it won't be a total wash. Nah, it fucking rained all through practice and truck qualifying and Xfinity qualifying this morning. It's going to do it again at some point today during one of these races or both. It's going to rain tomorrow. The problem we got to worry about later today is lightning. Like right now, there's not supposed to be any thunderstorms until about 4:30 local time. The Xfinity race starts at 3 local time. It's 4 on the East Coast, but 3 there. So we won't have to worry about lightning until the Xfinity race, maybe. And COTA obviously does not have lights. I don't believe. I'm not seeing any lights. How do you light that place? But that's a beautiful racetrack. I know the iRacing deal Wednesday was boring as fuck, but I still enjoyed it. What's up, Michael? Before you got here, I was telling Robert, as soon as the truck race ends, I have to jump off here and go to Ingles and do a follow-up with them, and then come back and do the Xfinity race. I shouldn't miss anything. But literally, as soon as the truck race ends, I'm going to run so I can make it back for the Xfinity race.
For John Hunter Nemechek, whether dry or wet, oval or road course, Nemechek's talent and experience make him a favorite today.
Man, I wish we could have got that Casgrala bet in yesterday, but I wasn't sure.
Earlier this season on the road course, did that at Daytona, and he's had speed here this weekend. He's got the best average finish of the full-timers this season. Sheldon Creed scored a road course win last season en route to his series championship, and he's fresh off his first victory this season. You should always have to beat the champ, and Creed has made that a formidable task. It helps to start from the pole, especially on a road course. That's the advantage today for Tyler Ankrum. First-time pole winner in qualifying this morning. Ankrum sits outside the playoff picture and needs a strong points day today. Just a few of the storylines and contenders as we get ready to go racing.
Track has looked pretty dry on the front stretch there, because it's not rained in about an hour or so.
Race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the
Hey, DFS.
welcome Toyota owner and
DFS, you spelled my name like you're dyslexic. Autocorrect's dyslexic.
Trey McDaniel.
Casgrala for the win.
Drivers.
I hope there are as few cautions as possible, because caution laps here, my God, it's going to be rough. So, I'm sure they have procedures to speed the cautions along.
Great to have the engines fired, and great to have Andy Lally with us as our guest analyst.
Andy Lally's the good. Wow.
Rolex
Andy Lally might win something this weekend.
wins at the Rolex 24. NASCAR experience in Cup, Xfinity, and trucks. In fact,
Andy Lally, 2011 Cup Rookie of the Year. Driving that 71 car.
double duty today. Andy Lally
Nearly won Mid-Ohio in the Xfinity Series.
And we look forward to
This is interesting. This is a great driver analyst to have for this.
And of course, the two-time Daytona 500 winner, Michael Waltrip, with us.
Oh, yes, two-time
First
Daytona
of all,
500
Andy,
Michael
let's
Waltrip.
get right to it. What are the challenges that this circuit's going to present to these truckers here today?
We've got a lot of challenges here at COTA. There are some tricky tracks, some tricky corners. This is one of the trickiest tracks we're going to see on this tour, but when you add what we just see out the window right behind me here, a damp track, it's going to be pretty crazy. Our passing zone.
Damp track with more rain in the area.
11, 12, and 20. That's going to be the popular
Matt
spots.
Crafton is starting fourth.
But as we transition, you're going to see some guys
I didn't see truck qualifying, but I watched Cup practice
13,
today.
15, 19, a little bit riskier. Where I don't want to see stuff, where we're going to see those yellows come out, where we're going to see that.
I feel like after watching all this iRacing stuff and lots of practice, I feel like I know this track pretty well now. That was the big thing for me, learning the track, so when I see them on screen, I know where the fuck they are. Like, during the iRacing thing, I was like, where are they? But I figured out the big areas of the racetrack so I can tell where they are in relation to the start-finish line.
So if you don't get one of those guys in victory,
It's also confusing just exactly where is the start-finish line today. Apparently, they've moved it further down the front stretch for the race.
Put it up front. We got a regular and a ringer, and both of them are very capable of going to victory lane here at COTA.
Let's get this going. I'm excited.
The uncertainties, the unknowns. After practice was done yesterday, we threw our arms up and said, well, what if it rains? Well, we're getting ready to find out what if it rains. And like you said, Andy, I don't know if you watched the Darlington truck race. We try to pass everywhere at any time.
Between races, I got to run to Ingalls, goddammit, so let's get this going.
It's going to be an entertaining affair. Can't wait to see how these guys handle it.
Yeah, starting out on wets after some
F121 for free on Steam.
It'll be interesting to see if they end up switching to the slicks. We'll talk
F1
more about
2020
that
for
in a
free
moment,
on
but let's
Steam,
go
huh?
downstairs, check in with our pit reporters. And
I'm clicking on Steam right now because I want to see that. Because if they got it, I'll take it. I know jack shit about F1, but if they have it, I want it.
He loves this place, and it showed. First time out on track on Friday, he was the fastest. So he told me today he's excited about it. But they qualified 15th, so they're going to have to take care of it. Take their paces here and take
Well, it's
care of the truck.
75% off. It's not free.
Anybody else's stuff. And right now, I can tell you, little bit of sprinkles now that the track is about halfway dry. Regan Smith.
Well, Jamie, the last time we were at a road course, as Vince mentioned, Ben Rhodes was the winner.
Okay, so it's just free this weekend, but okay. I might check that out. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a Formula 1 guy, but that game looks awesome, and I've heard nothing but good things about that game.
The anticipation is this racetrack will dry out like it did in Daytona. That is exactly what Ben Rhodes wants to see happen. He told me as he was getting in the truck that he would rather have a dry track today because of the setup that they've got in that
Ben Rhodes would rather have a dry track because he can't fucking drive. I'm kidding. He can drive. He's just a dumbass.
And heavy wind out there as well. That's going to help the track dry. But boy,
I said that already, Vince. Said it was windy. It's going to help the track dry.
It's been all day right now. We had some
They're just now rolling off pit road, and we're already seeing the effects of, like, boy, caution laps and shit here. Just they're going to take 100 years. NASCAR really needs to learn how to implement local yellows. They're just lazy. It's just pure laziness that they don't. Because the 2019 Roval race I went to was one of the most poorly officiated road course races I've ever seen. So many full course yellows for just nothing that would ever bring out a caution in any other series on a fucking road course. And it's just laziness. So NASCAR, don't be lazy. We need to work on this. If I was in charge of NASCAR, that'd be the first fucking thing I'd do now that we have so many road courses. I'd be like, all right, local yellows. Very rarely will we have a full course yellow. I know that they like full course yellows because it might, bunches everybody back up, because at a place like this, they're going to get really spread out. I would still have full course yellows in some instances. I mean, you got your fucking precious stage cautions. I mean, what more do you want? But yeah, local yellows, that's the way to go. I really wish my 2012 Dark Knight Rises Dale Jr. car was getting here today. The 2001 July Daytona car is getting here today. But that 2012 Elite Dark Knight Rises car that was a gift from a friend, I cannot fucking wait to have that car in my hands. And Michael, I already said, if I win all 3 races this weekend, I will buy another car. I've got a couple I'm looking at. The ones I'm looking at are the 2008 Bud Shootout car that Junior won with, the 2008 Michigan Cup race car, or the 2017 Junior's Last Ride, the Budweiser throwback, the Exalta Budweiser throwback. That's what I'm looking at. If I win all 3 races, I'll get one of them. We can't bring back the Gen 4 car. It's not safe. But what we could have done is just apply the safety innovations from the current cars to the Gen 4 car. That's the simple fix. I'm really optimistic about the next gen car. Looks great. Slick. Symmetrical sides, so air won't fucking kill you. They claim that it eliminates like 75 to 80% of dirty air effects, and I'm like, well, that'd be nice. A little more mechanical grip. Handling is going to be a bigger deal. See, it's proof you can go. I'd rather them not lower horsepower, but you can go 550, 600 horsepower and still have handling matter. You see a little bit of that in the Xfinity series because the Xfinity cars are not far off from what we all want. Hey, Lori. Gen 4 cars got kind of weird at the end. If you go back and look at those 2006, 2007 cars, they looked kind of funky. They had a lot of, once again, they looked like late models in the front. 2006, 2007 Gen 4 cars were interesting. It's another fucking race win diecast I want Junior's Richmond. I'm building the Dale Jr. collection, okay? I want all the race win cars I can get. All the different cars he won in the Xfinity series with. You know, and I've looked online. Pretty much every car is out there to find. The hardest ones to find are like the 2014 Daytona 500 and 2014 Martinsville. But these cars are out there. This collection can be complete one day.
On the pace laps, and Mike, as we look at this one, how do you see it shaking out with a race analysis?
Well, it's going to be interesting, Vince. These guys have 2 stages of 12 and
12 laps for stage 1, 14 for stage 2, 15 for stage 3.
So you got to understand, it's pretty tight with the laps and also your
You can
adjustments.
go.
Pit window, that's
I
all
say
up
it's a
in the air with
2-stop
the weather.
race.
It's anybody's guess as to how they play strategy.
Obviously,
Do
if
go
they have
to
to
the dry
switch.
tires
I don't know
to
what
get more
tires
race?
they're starting. I think they're all starting on rain tires. I see a lot of white letters. Remember, the white letters are the rain tires. The yellow ones are the slicks. My pick, Casgralla, starting on the front row.
Who won his first career pole in qualifying earlier this morning. Joined by Casgralla, who Mike says is going to be one of his favorites today.
You got that right. The third, row 2, going to be good as well. Sheldon Creed won it the road course last year. Matt Crafton always a threat, no matter where we go.
John Hunter Nemechek, your series points leader. Todd Gilliland nearly has a road course win to his credit. Keep an eye on Cameron Lawrence. Runs in the IMSA ranks.
We don't need to run Gen 4 cars at Bristol, Martinsville, and road courses because the current cars race just fine at those tracks. You need Gen 4 anywhere. It's the 1.5 miles solely.
And I think he's going to be really strong if this stays wet.
Zane Smith, fastest in practice yesterday in the dry conditions. So if we switch to the slicks, keep an eye on him. Derek Krause, Chandler Smith back there in row 10.
Sam Mayer will be solid. Timmy Hill always runs well.
Grant Infinger in the 9 this week. Paul Menard.
Paul Nard.
Series regular.
How about old Paul?
Even the trucks are up.
Yeah, and that's how enticing running here at COTA is. Everybody wants to be a part of this inaugural weekend. Such a special time.
Jack Wood, the GMS driver in the ARCA series in the mix, and Tanner Gray back there as well.
Tanner had some engine issues in practice.
Going green next time. They just checked pit road speed. Now they're heading down through the S's, so this coming time around, they'll go green.
John Hunter Nemechek already 2 wins this season. He has been fast in every single truck race that we've had this year, but as much of the field has very little, if no experience down here at the Circuit of the Americas racetrack. He did get the opportunity to test here a bunch in Toyota Supras and different racing vehicles, said he feels good about the racetrack, and he was one of those guys that said, let it rain. He wants it to downpour today. Look for him to be very strong if that happens. Jamie?
Oregon 20-year-old Parker Chase, Vince just mentioned him. He's a newbie to NASCAR, but not a newbie to road course racing. He races sports cars on a regular basis. He actually ran the Rolex 24-hour race with Kyle Busch.
I always
last
wonder
year,
the
so
butterfly
this is his
effect of if
second and
Earnhardt was
final
alive.
race for KBM. This is his home
Somebody
run.
else
He's
would have
raced
died
here
besides
probably
him.
more than anybody else in the field. Very experienced. Keep your eye on the 51, Vince.
We will indeed. Looking forward to seeing his performance.
Dale Earnhardt, when you think about it,
Look at the Fox
in a
drone
weird
cam.
way,
Couple
died,
of those,
and because he died, so
on-course
many others have
We're gonna get
lived.
Some great looks. First from Ben Rhodes. His number 99 is starting in the 11th position. You can see there we got a great view of Ben and the work that he's going to be doing behind the wheel of that Toyota Tundra. And we're also going to hop up on his bumper. See how many times he uses his bumper cam. And you can see the sprinkles starting to fall.
Starting to rain again.
Really
Just in time for the green flag.
Between wet and dry, it's going to be fun to follow. Sheldon Creed also starting up in row number 2 with the visor cam. He's got that look that we're going to feel like we're riding with him. Driving driving that truck. Just such a great.
This track is incredible to look at. It's so big, wide open spaces. Like, this is unlike anything they've ever run on before.
So we're going to be on some tough competitors.
Matt Crafton looking for his first road course win in that 88 truck.
There's wet spots left. You keep an eye on the radar as well. There's this swirl, and I'm sure you're looking at it. But the rumor is in about 25 minutes, there's going to be one hell of a rainstorm. But I see it convinces us as well. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at. Yeah, I hate to be in your shoes on that car. It's a difficult one to make right now.
Remember, we got a truck race at Watkins Glen later this year.
The conversation there about maybe switching from the rain tires to the dry slicks, and that's the radar and the
He said it's sprinkling again at part of the racetrack.
Andy, will you please translate what all they were just talking about? I know they want to try to get dry slicks on as soon as they can, but with the weather forecast, these guys all think they're amateur weathermen. What do you do?
This is a tricky one because COTA tends to keep washing this water from the top of the hill across the track here.
Whatever they did to COTA, when you watch practice this morning, it was pouring rain. There was not a lot of standing water. There was really none at all. So this place is like really well designed for drainage.
We're still going to have like turn 18 right here.
Hopefully they've added more drainage into the Charlotte Roval. That was rough last year in the fall in the Xfinity race.
Let me ask you this. As a driver, would you rather it just rain right now so we have consistent conditions, or would you rather take a chance that it dries?
Honestly, yes, especially if you're in the pack, because you're not going to get eyes forward to really spot those dry patches here. This is probably the most treacherous of conditions at all, where it's just fast enough to get up to top speed, but those brake zones and those corners are going to be slimy.
Yeah, a lot of spray, especially on the.
Well, I thought we were going green this time. Oh, we are. I'm about to say, what the fuck? Start finish line, middle of the front stretch at the Geico banner. And we're off. That's why I was confused. Matt Crafton takes the lead in turn 1. Wow, how did Crafton get that good of a jump? Oh, he goes wide coming out of 1. Casgrales to his outside going to the S's. Sheldon Creed didn't get a good jump there at all. Crafton went from 4th to the lead. And now he's side by side with Casgrala. And Casgrala takes the lead going through the S's. I'm still learning this track just like you probably are. Everybody's made it through the first few turns. Through the S's.
Drivers trying to take advantage of every opportunity they get as Grala leads.
Sheldon Creed settled into 3rd, Ankrum 4th. Oh! 33 got knocked wide there. He saves it and stays on track. Nice job. Parker Kligerman, I think, is going to be someone to watch today. He seemed really optimistic this morning on Twitter. And now we go to a full screen replay for something we just saw. I'd like to watch the race. Yes, I know. Ben Rhodes got into the side of the 33. How did he not wreck? I hope that tore the fucking shit out of Ben Rhodes' right front. I hope he hit him hard.
Yeah, good quick hands there too by Lawrence to get.
Okay, we've seen it about 5 times now. Oh, well, look, we got a spin. Austin Hill got spun around, but we didn't see it because we were too busy watching something that happened 10 seconds ago. Hill's got big damage to his left rear, and now we're back to full screen replays. It was going to be all damn day long, full screen. And I just said, watch Parker Kligerman. Well, watch him. He just spun out Austin Hill. Messed up his right front and Hill's left rear.
It's tough enough to get stopped and get wound up on this course.
This is so fun to watch. These guys are all over the place.
Nonetheless, you also have to watch out. Like, as you're coming into these corners, they're still throwing rooster tails into a lot of this stuff. And
good call on Matt Crafton. He looks really good right now, Michael.
And it's going to be tough to pick out where you think that hole is going to be if you see a spinning truck.
I don't like when we have to race each other head-to-head, Michael.
Young's Motorsports. Chris Wright in this truck a lot during the course of the season, but we've seen some.
Man, I want to drive this track, but it's not in any video game I have.
And he has been terrific.
God, nobody's going wider in the top 5 off these corners than Matt Crafton. Hey, we're going to complete a lap under green. How about it? We have completed a lap under green.
He grew up road racing, co-driving with his dad, and now he's on the big stage here at Poe with NASCAR.
Love this front straightaway as they come up the hill to turn 1, to the highest point on the racetrack, the apex of turn 1.
Austin Hill got spun out, and he's, what position is he in?
Get into 2 and 3 into the S's.
Ankrum and Gilliland side by side for 4th. And Parker Kligerman's on pit road. He clobbered Austin Hill that last lap. I figured he messed up that right front. And putting slick tires on, that's bold.
I thought I saw yellow lettering too there. That would be the brave thing to do. You've got a lot of...
I think they should put the track map at the top right corner of the screen like they had in practice this morning. That would be helpful.
And if that's the move, if we go yellow here, he's going to...
Oh, it's in F120. Okay, maybe I will get to drive it sometime this weekend. Good call, DFS. Since F1 2020 is free for a day or so, whatever it is.
Probably a little early for that, but it's not going to be much longer now, Andy.
I just play it specifically. Oh, Friesen missed that corner. He almost ran over the 98.
Thing to do to be the first guy to slicks on one of these situations.
Jamie, what was the decision there on the 75 of Kligerman?
Yeah, they came in. I just talked to the team. They said they had cut a tire on the right side, so they just changed the right sides and just put wets back on.
That's a two-tire stop, making sure they don't get in jeopardy of losing a lap. And
you can see the spray.
The pace is pretty good on. It's a wet racetrack and it's sprinkling.
Windshield wipers certainly being used.
Actually, it's starting to rain again, I think.
Gives you an indication of how damp the track still is.
Yeah, it's raining. It's raining again.
The newer pavement where they've repaved, holding the water here.
That part of the track there is too wet for it to not be raining right now.
This is going to really hinder the vision of these guys in these braking zones and their ability to slow these trucks down.
hinder everything, right, Andy? You can't stop. You can't
Got a
go,
battle
you
for
can't
second.
see.
Sheldon Creed.
nerve-wracking things to do to be a
Crafton goes really wide. God, Crafton almost drove out to the sand, but he got a nice run and stays in front of Creed.
It's the windshield wiper don't work. It's absolutely
Ooh, visor cam on Creed. This is nice.
And what you've remembered for your marks to get your brake zones, there's definitely points where these guys are going to brakes, realizing they're in the wrong spot, and they get back on the gas right before turn 12.
Riding with Sheldon Creed.
Crafton is driving all the way off the track, off these corners.
His helmet, see him bouncing around, working that wheel, shifting gears, doing everything.
2 laps under green. This is more than I thought. I thought somebody'd get stuck in the sand by now.
Grandstands on the right-hand side, sweet areas on the left, and great to see
Creed to the outside of Crafton, going to 1. Gonna try to outbrake him on the outside. Nope, not there.
He's not really just driving down the inside to block the two of Creed. He's driving down the inside looking for a little bit of water. When drying up on the right side of the track on approach, you don't need wet tires in a straightaway. You need them in the slimy corners there. So he's trying to hit those puddles.
Yeah, everybody's on rain tires except Parker Kligerman, who pitted. He put slicks on.
finding water because it's starting to rain a little bit harder.
And now they're saying it's raining harder through the S's.
Early laps for the Camping World Truck Series.
Yeah.
Little beating and banging already.
Very interesting. Couple of spins here and there, but way cleaner than I thought it would be. Cup guys, I hope you're watching. That Cup race is going to be really good. I think everybody's going to be... we did this at the Daytona Road Course last year. Oh, my God, how these guys... And they didn't practice at the Daytona Road Course last year, so they're like, oh, my God, how are they going to run this? It's going to be a disaster. It's like, no. Especially the Cup guys. They're smarter than that. Then you find out after the race that, like, the top 5 starters that day all met each other and was like, hey, let's all take it easy through turn 1. Just be cool so we don't embarrass ourselves. Hopefully Ingles doesn't jack me off and I miss the start of the Xfinity race. They shouldn't. I don't know what all they're going to want me to do. What the fuck is this commercial I'm watching? That's disgusting. Oh, it's a Hardee's commercial. Well, that hand-breaded chicken looks real good. You know what? That was not disgusting. I really came around on that commercial. Watch the leaderboard during the commercials, see if anybody disappears. Will there be a big one? No. There's not going to be a fucking big one in any of these races. Track's too big for a big one. There's too much space for there to be a big one. Not like Darlington and the trucks. God, I can't believe that was 2 weeks ago. Time flies. Should have never went to Darlington because now I got this fucking 124 diecast addiction that I picked up in Darlington. Should have never went. Just kidding. I'm glad I went. I'm still thinking about the 600 next week. I don't know. I'd hate not streaming it, but, I mean, if a race is that close to my house, shouldn't I go? Sheldon Creed just passed Matt Crafton for second, according to the leaderboard. Yeah, you get a big one going up through them S's at Watkins Glen. I think you could have got a big one at Sonoma when they ran the old layout, not the carousel layout, but the other layout. You could get a big one over there at the top of the hill. But COTA, I mean, look at all that space. Painfully long commercial. It's not that long, but I want to watch the race. Mostly we got to watch a lot of full screen replays there before they went to commercial. Grant Enfinger's a big mover. He started 23rd. He's up to 11th. I almost considered picking Enfinger.
That's right.
And he's a big mover right now.
Presented by Wampley, and we saw just before the commercial break,
Crafton off of turn 20 got passed by Sheldon Creed for second.
Came off turn 20.
Well, that was a patient, calm move. He just pressed the gas, squeezed the gas down. He saw Crafton slide up the hill, took that shorter route, and was able to make it work.
Kaz Grala's got a 3-second lead.
Probably just a little bit of late tire hop in the back, just kind of matching that first gear downshift on the very slippery outside in turn 20 there, and just had to straighten his hands out there and give Shelton the better line there.
Tyler Ankrum also got around the 88 of Crafton, and now he's getting some pressure from Todd Gilliland as you see the fans that have turned out, and just great to see fans.
Tyler Ankrum's third. Crafton drops to fourth. Gilliland's right behind Crafton. Nemechek not far behind. He's moved up. He's running well.
Beautiful facility, and tell you what, it is.
I think Nemechek was still the favorite today.
Trucks getting after it in the different conditions and what we might have anticipated a week ago.
Andy, wouldn't you say they've now seen it all? I mean, they've been in every condition possible, so we'll see who adapts the best.
Whoa, what is that?
Right now, and we got a
Haley Deegan and somebody.
Is that the 12 of Tate Fogelman, I believe?
Fogelman, fire that shit up. There you go. We
guys,
stay green.
What these guys might be feeling here is these
Fogelman and Haley Deegan got together. Wow, 3 wide here. Truex, Sauter, Hocevar, and there's Austin Hill driving up on them. Well, that was a 3 wide going to the S's. That was crazy.
But it's really the tire flexing a lot, and then when these tires really get hot, that's when you see guys driving way offline and splashing through puddles. And tire management now, especially these rear tires on these rain tires, on these Goodyear Rains, they're getting really hot because that's a really soft compounder. As this track dries out, you're going to abuse the heck of that. And the guys that are exiting, like we're seeing Matt, he's driving super fast, but he's using up all the road and really using up those rear tires, where we're seeing Grala kind of patient, turning around the backside.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed's catching Kaz Grala, and they're talking about tire management because it's not raining everywhere on the track. It's drizzling here and there, and the track's still mostly drying out. Creed's definitely driving harder than Grala. I think Grala's really managing the tires.
Further back as you see the spin here between Fogelman.
Wow, that was off turn 20. I couldn't even tell that's where that was when Haley Deegan and Fogelman got together.
Like Fogelman tried to squeeze in under Haley.
That was a really impatient move on Fogelman's part.
No worse for the wear, both able to continue on. Well, Haley Deegan, you talk about challenging. It's her rookie season to begin with, and then facing the road courses as she did at Daytona. At least she got a little practice today, or yesterday, I should say.
Fogelman's he's smoking.
Had a tire rub after the contact.
They had a line that came loose yesterday during practice and had to come in and address that. So it's been an event
down that long straightaway. Man, that's an awesome shot looking down that back stretch there.
Motorsports to the driver of that truck, Kaz Grala.
Check this out.
See, the field has started to spread out a little bit.
Check this out, Vince. When you have a problem.
Now we're looking at a map of the racetrack instead of the race.
Look like little Skittles running around everywhere, and Tate's the last one. You see the 75 been to pit road?
Anyway.
He's already caught the back of the field, so he's got a fast truck.
These guys got to keep in mind how long this track is. When you go to places like Road America, it's the same thing. If you have a tough first stage, don't overdrive it to try to make up 1 or 2 spots from a half a mile back. Chill out. There's 7 laps to go in this 12-lap first stage.
A lot of different paint schemes today. I'm like losing track of where guys are because everybody's driving different paint schemes.
Parker Chase in that 51.
Sam Mayer's in the top 10.
Of Sam Mayer in that
And he's
32.
racing with Parker Chase, who's in Kyle Busch's 51. I don't know why Crafton's never won on a road course. They haven't had many opportunities. For the longest time, they've only raced at like 1 road course a year.
20 turns.
I'm glad that's changing this year.
Undulation. Sometimes it doesn't.
Enfinger in the top 10. He started 23rd. He's 9th now.
But we had an opportunity to drive the track yesterday, Mike, in the Toyota Supras, and man,
Yay, track map at the top right of the screen. That's what we need as we watch Enfinger here. Enfinger's definitely a guy to watch right now.
Little Supra, we were in about 135 miles an hour. Really tried this place out. It was a lot of fun.
Rhodes and Nemechek for 6th.
where you made me really nervous, Mike.
Oh, they touched coming out of that hairpin, going down that long straightaway.
Yeah, we're seeing guys going forward and back. At the bottom of our top 10, 9th and 10th, Enfinger and Mayer have worked their way up from 21st and 23rd. So we're seeing some guys that might not have hit it just right in practice or qualifying there, but they're getting.
I've been looking forward to watching this all week.
Those raindrops are friendly for the crew chiefs. They know right now, as long as the rain's misting and get a little sprinkle, those tires will live to the end of the stage. I gotta remind you something. Talk about 6 laps to go to the end of the stage. Just remember, that's 120 turns. It's not like you're at Bristol just making it 4.
Halfway through stage 1, still a lot of racing left to go in this stage.
Still a lot of racing, still a lot of commercials. See what Twitter has to say about this. I'm jealous of everyone that's there. Kamikaze. Shout out to you being at COTA this weekend. It's pretty good for a guy who doesn't watch NASCAR anymore to be going to NASCAR races. I'm a smart ass. Rake yon, woo woo. Loving this weather and this relaxing weekend. Lots of racing on as well. Fuck yeah, Rake. Hashtag get hard for Menard. Can we get that trending? Well, they just start the damn race. Dave Moody's had marriages that didn't last as long as the pre-race today. Much like Jeff Gluck, I am very surprised. He said, I was worried the field would get strung out quickly, but there's plenty of racing to be found. Yeah, I think the rain or the wet track is having an effect on that. I'd be curious to see. Once again, I'd like to see one race be dry this weekend. Oh, my Lord. Phone's ringing, but I'm not going in there to answer it. Ryan Truex spins in turn 2, but we stay green. A lot of talk about Indy 500 practice and qualifying today. Yeah, Indy's sneaking up on us. Even the filthy casuals like me who don't religiously watch IndyCar, Indy's sneaking up on us. I'm such a carpetbagger with IndyCar. I watch the big races. That's pretty much it. I am nice car.
Hey, for tomorrow's Cup race, you can enter Clint's Fox Bet Super 6 Stage 2 contest. It's your chance to win $10,000 of Clint Boyer's money. I saw Clint downstairs just a little while ago. He had cash just coming out of his pockets. You should have seen it. Just download the app and pick 6 race out.
That wasn't cash. That was his big dick, Vince.
It's your shot to win. Free to play. Don't miss out. Play now while there is still time left. Hey, and speaking of giving away,
Somebody will short pip before the end of the stage.
going to the winner today.
If I'm Kaz Gralla, I'm going to pit with 3 to go on the stage.
This is race 2 of 3. And
Play for track position and the win. Points don't matter. It's just like whose line is it anyway. The points don't matter.
It's 150 grand. If you win all 3, that's 5.
John Hunter Nemechek's dropped to 8th place. Rhodes and Zane Smith passed him during commercial, and here's how.
Recently at Darlington.
Going down this long straightaway here. Rhodes got to the inside of Nemechek. Drove really hard. Wow.
Battling it out for bragging rights, aren't they, Vince? The best season so far by any of our truckers?
And battling on.
Yeah, Michael, good call. They're showing that now, Rhodes and Nemechek.
Just getting back.
Rhodes hard on the brakes to get by him. Creed still reeling in Gralla. 5 to go on the stage. That's a lifetime here. And Creed's got it down to about a second and a half.
Too much. Kaz Gralla started on the front row, jumped to the front at the green flag drop, and he has been out front and not pressured really at all.
Wow, look at Creed sliding. He's driving hard.
Sheldon Creed has closed the
There's his
gap,
hairpin.
running some really solid lap times, but
Getting to that long straightaway.
Cass looks more patient. Looks like he's just being smoother right now. And I know Sheldon Creed, and I can promise you, Andy, smooth isn't the way he goes about it.
Smooth and patient is not his game.
He likes to go, baby.
I mean, he's going right now. We can see, Kaz, I think as Creed gets closer.
I'm not used to the fact that that's Andy Lally talking. I don't think I've ever heard Andy Lally talk longer than about 15 seconds in my entire life.
He knows he's coming to the end of the stage in 5 laps.
So I keep going, who's talking? Oh, Andy Lally. Paul Nard passes to 51. Paul Menard's 12th. Didn't Paul Menard start like 26th? He's up to 12th.
And you had to figure once the race started
Good call.
today, Paul would move toward the front.
Anchorman Gilliland back and forth for third place.
Vehicle in a while, and he's getting the rust knocked off.
Yeah, I was in the Xfinity race.
Good racing here.
A bunch of years back.
Ooh, they both go wide.
I was actually
There's only so much racetrack out there, guys.
18 years ago in a touring car thing before he even went to NASCAR. Very quick guy, very good study, gets up to speed quick, and obviously climbing right back into these trucks and knocking the rust off and going fast.
Wow, you're getting me about as old as Boris said, aren't you?
Isn't Boris said in one of the races this weekend?
Menard running a 5th truck.
Could have swore I saw his name on an entry list somewhere.
Out of the Thor Sport camp, and
Paul Menard's going to be knocking on the door of the top 10 here
this season. In fact, Time
by the end of the stage.
Get an opportunity to run with them some this year.
Well, that's cool. Be good to have Ty back. Lawrence.
There's Christian Eckes, and you were talking about Timmy Hill a moment ago, and there he is in the 56. 3rd truck in line there, Cameron Lawrence in that red 33, and there's Eckes for position in the 98. Eckes splitting that 98 truck with Grant Infinger this season.
Ooh, that 33's had some adventures today.
So easy to do, especially if you stay on the dry line and you get on that oil that's cut.
Well, at least he's getting out there on that wet paint.
And that red.
I see why guys are running wide.
Looks slicker than the asphalt.
Why is that, Mike?
Because it is. And the water just stands on top of it, and those guys struggle to get grip.
And Cameron Lawrence making his first start, Andy, and I know you think a lot of him.
Austin Wayne Self is actually having a decent run right now.
But then having to do it in the wets.
I say it's a good run for him whenever he stays on the racetrack.
Adjusting to a different visual. I mean, these trucks compared to what he's in, he's been driving. He said.
I keep forgetting that Eckes is in the 98.
This is a spotter.
I'm always like, oh yeah, the 98. Oh, one of them generic ass young guys. Yeah.
Movement, second nature is an incredibly tough thing to do. I do this every time I have to.
Boris in the Xfinity race. Nice. I'll be happy to see Boris out there again, see what he can do.
You're expected to just be on it right away, or the team's going to be mad at it.
Boris was always one of my favorite guys to watch. Boris said, Ron Fellows, they were always favorites of mine. Creed within a second of Gralla for the lead now.
And then we know the craziness is going to follow.
Kaz Gralla's done such a good job managing this.
More on Kaz Gralla.
And Creed's done an equally good job chasing him down.
Bailey Curry for position just inside the top 15.
How fun has Bailey been since we got to see him hop in this Nice truck? He's always run very competitively, getting a lot out of these trucks. Fun to watch.
Yeah, the guys at Nice think a lot of Bailey. Looking forward to seeing more of him throughout the rest of this season.
Or Derek Krause and Haley Deegan are just hanging on here.
Derek Krause in that 19. Haley Deegan trying to get around.
Seeing everybody move to the left side down the back straightaway. That's not your normal line, but that's the wettest part of the track right now. Those guys are diving left. They're sweating their rear tires. Those tires are falling off. They feel that tire spin. They feel that chunking, that vibration that starts when those blocks start to break.
That's why you got a short pit here before the end of the stage to get new tires and track position. Oh, Hocevar, I thought he was going to go around off the front of Krause, but they just missed each other.
Don't want to shut down the way they were in the beginning of this session here.
At 42 is Carson Hocevar coming off a career best 3rd place finish.
There's the 21, Zane Smith pitting, just like I said, 3 to go in the stage.
On pit road is
Zane Smith going to get that track position back. And new tires. Be curious to see how those rear tires look after running about 9 laps. Grant Enfinger to pit road. I don't think, man, Kaz Gralla, he should pit next time around. He's the leader, so he can wait until next time around. 51's on pit road. I really feel like I'm watching a Formula One race at slow speed.
Getting a significant chassis adjustment as well.
Yeah, and these guys are calling for help because, like we talked about the rain tires going away, they've lost some 4.5 seconds off the pace of their fastest lap, Vince. So getting these fresh tires right now is timely, but they're mainly doing it because in the case of Kaz Gralla, I would be surprised if he wins this.
Have a battle for the lead this lap.
For points. The team is, so he might win
If
this
one of these guys doesn't
There's
pit.
going to be some strategies where guys pull off the racetrack because they want to make sure they get the pit stop done before the caution, get that track position.
Well, I guarantee it.
I should get 10 cents for stage wins.
Stage win because he is racing for points in that stage win.
Michael, if my pick wins the stages, which they often do, and then finish second in the race, I should get 10 cents per stage win.
Another guy that needs those stage points.
10 cents for 10 points.
Todd Gilliland, and he's making some good progress. His lap times over the last
Yeah, Todd Gilliland's third and running down Creed and Gralla. That top 5 is going to be on top of each other here. They're not that far apart.
The gap that he had on the lap prior there, he's definitely coming to these guys here.
And you can see, look at Gilliland, the line he
Oh,
takes,
wow,
moves
Gilliland
it
running
up
right up on Creed.
Sheldon Creed.
Goes really wide, though. Used up every bit of that racetrack. Entered shallow in the next corner. Creed's going to drive away a little bit. They're coming up on that hairpin here at the top of the hill.
That's also why he's dropping, because he's just tearing up whatever he's got left and wants to get out in front of these guys if they're not going to pit this lap.
3-truck battle for the lead, but I figure 1 or 2 of them will pit here. Figure Gilliland will stay out. Creed pits, Gilliland stays out.
Creed hits.
Creed's won a race, so he knows he's
Gralla's going to play for points. Creed's going to play for track position. He pits.
Regan is down there awaiting the arrival of Sheldon Creed in his pit box. Speed limit 40 miles per hour on pit road. Regan?
Well, no big surprise, as Michael just said.
See, they had to install a pit wall here for this weekend because there's no pit wall at COTA.
It's going to be a strong opportunity for them to do that today. That is a 2-truck of Sheldon Creed. He's had this race circled on the calendar even before Daytona earlier this year. Right now, that truck, it needs a little bit more turn with the front end.
They're putting wets on still. Yeah, I mean,
With the tight front end,
it's dried out in some places, but overall the track's still pretty damp.
I like this strategy. This is the way to
This
do
is
it
the
right
strategy
here.
to do it.
He's gonna
Andy
come out
Lally's
and
right
do
about
something
that.
front here after
That's
these
why
guys,
I'm a little annoyed at
take
Kaz
their
Gralla,
stage
because
points and
I'd almost bet money that Kaz Gralla never sees the lead again today. Unless they do this, unless they do the other strategy at the end of stage 2.
From potentially 8th, 10th, maybe even further on back,
Hold
depending
on.
on who pits or doesn't pit here. That's something I want a clean nose. I want good tires. Sheldon could leave the pits here and kind of chill out, not abuse the rear tires, and have a great car to start, great truck to start the second stage.
Well, these two are the opposite of chilling out. They are burning those good years up trying to win this stage.
I was going to say Sheldon Creed may be giving up the stage points and the potential stage win to position himself better as we move forward in the race.
It's all about that. And
Yep.
it depends on your agenda. These cats, Gillen, Ankrum, we've talked about Ankrum's struggles this year. Picking up these points to the end of this first stage is very important to these teams.
You see the track map up at the top of the screen, top right-hand portion, the 0-2 of Grala as they get into turn 12, that hard left-hander after the long back straight, and Gilliland is right behind him. And this is a
Paul Menard, top 10.
right here, Andy.
It is. It's turn 13 that we're seeing right there is the second slowest corner on the track, and they're on their way to turn 15, the absolute slowest corner on the track. Zoomed in, when we've got a very wet racetrack, these trucks look like they're parked, and you might be at home wondering why isn't he just on the gas? Well, you can see the back end stepping out, they're racing to it.
Oh, Gilliland, look out! God, he's all over the place. When Gilliland snapped back to the left, I almost thought he was going to hit Grala. That would have pissed me off. Gilliland's aggressive for this lead right now. They're coming to 1 to go in the stage, so.
Here in this first stage, and Gilliland is pressuring Sheldon Creed as they approach and now handle turn 20. Coming up this long straightaway uphill.
1 to go. Stage 1 went caution-free. I'm stunned.
This baby is far from over. This is interesting, Andy, because they're taking two such different approaches to this racetrack right now.
Because Gilliland, he got to his inside. He's got it. Oh, but Kaz gets the throttle down from the outside. Now he's on the inside going towards the S's. Gilliland, please don't fucking run him over or something. Please. I don't trust Gilliland. He kind of sucks, honestly. God, Gilliland's all over him. Grala, if you got anything here, now's the time to put it down because you're about to pit and change these tires anyway. So.
They did. That was awesome to see the fact that they were able to battle that tightly and there was no contact.
Off the corner is where Gilliland is dogging his ass.
I think Todd believes done correct.
Although now Grala's cranked it up. He's got a bit of a gap. A couple of truck links now after Gilliland was on his tailgate the entire run through the S's.
Yes, this run off of 11 is going to dictate a lot of what they're doing. We're seeing Todd really.
There you go, the hairpin. Ah, Grala missed the corner. Gilliland takes the lead. Runs wide though. Grala gets back to his inside and takes the lead back because Gilliland's sideways. What a move by Grala. I thought Kaz completely missed the corner, but he just crossed him over and took the lead back, and Gilliland almost spun out.
Kaz Grala trying to hold off Todd Gilliland for the stage 1 win, and look at the water, the spray that's coming off those trucks as you can get an indication.
And now Gilliland's going to send it here. And Grala holds on to the lead again.
So tight now as they come off turn 12.
Gilliland to his outside, going to this next corner.
Car control of these guys is outstanding. And
It's truck control, Andy.
like
I call them cars all the time, too.
Not the last lap of the stage.
Side by side here. And Gilliland clears him. Finally, Gilliland clears him, but he's going to go wide again. Goes really wide. Is he clear? Yes, he is. He clears Grala by a mile. I think Gilliland's going to hold the lead here and win the stage.
He's got to smooth it out.
He's got to come around through this sweeping right-hander. That was a good drive by Gilliland to not lose it there.
Yeah, what a great.
I expected Gilliland to bust his ass, spin out, or spin Grala out, but he didn't. And he got the lead, and he's going to win the stage if he goes down here and makes this last left-hander. Well, I wouldn't get 10 cents for this. Gilliland drove a nice lap there to get this done. Stage 1, Todd Gilliland.
Wins stage 1 at COTA.
That was awesome, guys. What a great battle.
That was a statement.
And they didn't wreck each other.
Back from many seconds down, that was pretty wild.
Well, if stage 1 isn't any indication of what we're going to have.
Guys, I will be right back. I'll be right back. back, I had to carry a watermelon in. Ross Chastain must have stopped by and gave us one. I've got to pee, but I'm going to sit here and watch these pit stops and then run to the bathroom. God damn. I've had a lot on my mind today, trying to like prepare to run out of here, go to Ingles, do that bullshit, and come back here and not miss any of the Xfinity race. Then I had to worry about my race picks. I feel mostly confident. You know, Kyle Busch has been talking about, we don't have any practice. No practice, no practice, no practice. That's the only reason I don't win all the time, because there's no damn practice, no practice. Well, he got his practice this weekend. He won the pole for the Xfinity race. He was fastest in Cup practice. Kyle Busch, this is your weekend. This is your weekend, Kyle. Greatest driver ever should have no problem winning it. The alleged greatest driver ever. Hey, only 9 more subs and we hit 700. Yeah, I enjoyed the end of the first stage there. I give Todd Gilliland a hard time, but he did an excellent job there. It's the best driving I've ever seen from Todd Gilliland. Other than Canada a couple years ago when Noah Gragson ran his ass over. What? Noah Gragson ran a teammate over? Yeah, shocking. Never happens, right? Right, Justin Allgaier? Fucking mail hasn't run yet. I'm still waiting for my 2001 July Daytona car. And we're back.
The Circuit of the Americas Camping World Truck Series Stage 1 is complete. And Todd Gilliland outdueled Kaz Grala down the stretch of that last lap and finally made the pass and got the Stage 1 win. There's Gilliland in that 38. And watch this, man, he hounded him for...
It takes a lot to drive like that and not run the guy over. And not spin out trying to get back in the gas really hard because you're desperate to get around him.
And really abuse those good years. What a great job at making this move.
And what a great comparison of two different opposites.
Jamie Little.
Narrow pit road, very similar to Indianapolis, because I mean it's not built for these kinds of vehicles. I wonder if when they built this track did they ever think they'd have NASCAR here.
Free him up just a little bit. Kaz Grala, a heck of a run there in the opening stage. A 4 out of 5 tight through the center, so that's his main concern. Wants to free him up a bit as well, and 4 rain tires going on. Regan.
Rain tires all day from the looks of it.
This race, but not happy with that truck yet. Absolutely plowing tight. We're here to line that up and down pit road. And the 38 of Todd Gilliland race car, pretty good right now for him. Just lacks a little bit of drive off.
Gilliland wins the race off pit road, but we had cars or trucks that pitted near the end of the stage that'll be in front of these guys. Kaz Grala lost 3 spots on pit road, and a number of guys are going to stay out. Didn't understand that strategy.
Nobody builds.
I'll be right back again. I'm back. Much needed bathroom break. Yeah, Gilliland is using all of the racetrack. He and Crafton were two guys that were really going out there as close as you can get to the sand without getting stuck in it. Fuck. I am so hungry. But I cannot eat till later today if I'm to stick to my diet rules. Did you hear me talking about my 2001 July Daytona car that I've got coming today? And then Monday I get my 2012 Michigan Dark Knight Rises Diet Mountain Dew car? The collection's growing. At least those two didn't really cost anything, because I got one basically for free and I got the other for like $20. I can already tell I'm going to have the hardest time in the future when I get to that point of getting the 2014 Pocono Win cars, the 2014 Daytona 500 car, and the 2014 Martinsville car. I'm going to have a hard time getting those. And probably the 2015 Talladega, July Daytona, and Phoenix Win cars will be a pain in the ass to get too.
Too soon, it's a penalty for the stage one winner, Todd Gilliland.
Todd Gilliland over the wall too soon. Gilliland goes to the back. Sorry, Michael. I know that's your guy today. And we're coming to the green here. They're doing a great job with these yellows. The yellows are like 1 or 2 laps each. The pace laps before the race was like 2 laps max, and this stage caution here is like 1 or 2 laps. So they're doing a good job. I was worried we'd ride around under caution forever. Here they come. Off turn 20, come to the green. Creed, Zane Smith, Grant Enfinger, Christian Eckes up front. Guys pitted near the end of the stage. Some guys ran the stage out. The running order's all jumbled. My pick has Grallis all the way back in 12. We're going to have to flip that strategy here going to stage 3. Creed launches, big fucking jump there. Zane Smith did not get going at all. And good luck seeing going up to turn 1. It's a wall of water. Creed drove harder than anyone in stage 1 other than Gilliland. So I'm not surprised to see him launch out to a lead here. Enfinger to second. Zane Smith third, Eckes fourth. They're getting a lot more confident now. I expected worse on that restart going to turn 1 with that wall of water that you couldn't see through. And the fact that these guys are much more confident. They've got to be more confident.
You know, considering the difficult circumstances, we're at a new racetrack, obviously running in the rainy and wet conditions. I'm really impressed with how well these guys.
This has been a really clean race.
Here today. I've got to believe you. Believe me, I thought maybe we'd see a little more of a wreck fest, Mike. Well, Andy, this is the view.
By the way, Vince Welsh just mentioned a wreck fest. Wreck fest is free on PlayStation this month if you have PlayStation Plus. I haven't downloaded it, but I claimed it, so I have wreck fest now on PlayStation.
I mean, we see Sheldon there. He doesn't even have his windshield wiper on. He's got obviously a good guy doing his rain X and his defogger. Everything looks good and clear.
Woo, the 51 four-wheel slide going down. Oh, man. Gralla adored Eckes. He was 3 wide, but they were almost 4 wide. Looks like Indianapolis going down this straightaway here when they'd run the restrictor plates on the Xfinity cars.
Tough for our cameras to see the trucks. It's very tough.
Seeing all that water is a great thing for these tires, though.
Guys have been here since before 6 o'clock this morning, and it has been a long day in the rain. It has rained just about the entire day, and we've got plenty more to go. We've got an
oh yeah, there's an SRX game coming out. I might look into that, man. SRX will be fun to play, I think. It'll be something to play on my fucking PS5, that's for sure. I might get it.
Allows us to bring these pictures to you. Thank you. As you see Creed
Creed in finger, Zane Smith get away clean. They got a nice gap between them and Hocevar and Sam Mayer. And then the mess behind them, you can't even see who's running where. Look at the run Gilliland just passed about 5 trucks at once coming off that corner. He ran wide, everybody else didn't, and he passed about 5 trucks. And Michael Waltrip didn't even mention it.
And then it's like a funnel. You got to squeeze back in, and look at that mess.
Can't believe we didn't have somebody get around there. Parker Chase somehow managed to hang on to it while Eckes.
Again, we're seeing
side by side per second, Smith and Infinger. Sheldon Creed's got about a 2.5 second lead now. Zane Smith takes second place.
Don't you just love the job Grant Infinger's doing in this 9 truck? I mean,
this race looks like so much fun to be in. It looks so much fun.
And it looks clean. He's come from way back in the low 20s, 23rd or so. Back up through here, and it doesn't look like he's got a dent or fender on it.
Driving for Cody Rohrbaugh in the 9. Normally in that truck, but Grant has had a couple of opportunities in it.
Some big debris laying right there.
That,
I hope they don't throw a full course yellow for that little bit of debris. I said it was a big piece, then I said it was little. It's big enough you can see it. It looks like something they throw a yellow for, so keep an eye on that.
COTA, stage 2.
We're going side by side here. Very nice. Why are those windshield wipers on the trucks and cars the cutest thing ever? Oh, Casgrel is not even in the top 15 now. I told you that strategy was a bad fucking idea. So that crew chief, they don't deserve to win with a stupid call like that. Sorry, but that's just dumb to put yourself in this position. I'd have done the same strategy in both stages. Fuck the points, fuck the stage end. I just want the track position. That's literally the only way to call this race if you were up there leading and not running full time. So they get what they deserve. I feel bad for Casgrella, though, because it was not his call. He's not the crew chief. He's got his truck beat to shit now. Well, that truck commercial looks cool. Lots of wrecks. Oh, what? Charlotte next Friday. Sorry I didn't stream anything else this week. I planned on it, but then I got lazy.
Circuit of the Americas construction began back
I got really lazy this week.
And Formula One came here in 2012. Mario Andretti got his own World Championship car and did the ceremonial first lap before the F1 guys got out there and got after it. IndyCar came in 2019. So cool to have NASCAR here for the very first time. The layout of this circuit originally conceived over a dinner, as well it should, and I'm sure several bottles of wine and a sketch on a napkin.
I'm just going to assume Menard, you know, he pitted at the end of the stage with a lot of guys, so he was stuck in traffic anyway. I'm just going to assume Menard got run over or something. They barely have enough cameras to see everything that's going on here, so I'm not surprised we don't know what happened to Menard.
Mike, maybe you've
I overreacted about Cass Gralla, but still, I think that was the wrong strategy.
They got it right, I'll tell you that.
Palazzo, Atlantis, down in the Bahamas.
They got it right, because not only is the racing on the track what you want to see, but just the whole experience coming here. Jamie Little, the 32, made a bold move down into turn 1, made it work. What is he saying?
Yeah, just his aggressive driving and his ability, his natural ability for Sam Mayer has been impressive once again today. Started 21st, working his way up. He's in 4th right now, guys. I talked to him before the race. You know, he jumps in and jumps out of these trucks. He races all kinds of things. Finished top 10 with his team. Last time out, it's Brett Holmes Racing, and they were hoping to do that yet again today. This is a brand new team, just their 5th ever race here. Shane Huffman, crew chief, been doing a great job. And remember, it is this driver, Sam Mayer, who's taking over the 8 Xfinity car starting at Pocono, and he'll run that pretty much the rest of the season.
Well, and he first jumped to the forefront of most race fans' knowledge when he won at Bristol. Yeah, Bristol, COTA, you know. But that was last season.
Mayer up to 3rd.
Sam Mayer doesn't even turn 18 until next month.
Hey, there's Cass Gralla coming back in the picture. Mayer's got a lot of damage on his right front. That looks funny.
And Mayer get a good little back and forth.
That's a pretty versatile driver. If at such a young age you're winning at Bristol and then you're running at the sharp end of the grid at COTA. Very opposite places, obviously. Your longest track on the tour versus your shortest track on the tour. So absolutely impressive job by this kid.
And you know what I love about the Truck Series, Andy? We get to see
Sam Mayer 2nd. He just passed Zane Smith, although Zane Smith's looking to his inside. No, Mayer's going to keep the spot. At least till this next corner. Smith's working hard to pass him back. Oh, sliding. And Mayer gets 2nd. If he gets through this hairpin, he's pretty much got it made. Creed's got a 5.5 second lead. Cass Gralla coming back in the picture. Mayer gets away from Zane Smith.
As they make their way down that long straight headed toward turn 12.
You know what I think is interesting, Mitch? You said it earlier. When we're driving around in the super pace car, you can't see over. It was clear as a bell. You still can't see where you're going because so many of the corners are blind. And I think that just
Infinger passes Zane Smith for 3rd.
What these drivers are doing.
Even the straightaway, just the back straightaway goes blind twice when you press 2 different hills.
Yeah, Gilliland, I pointed out he passed about 5 trucks in 1 lap earlier.
Leading the pack, still has the windshield wiper going. Approaching the halfway mark in stage 2.
Well, when they sped up that footage of those guys coming through there, I thought it was somebody flying off the track. Wow, Fox. Fucking Jedi mind trick. It's a fun race, but not like an action-packed race with much to talk about under these long green runs. But I'm glad we're getting some long green runs. I didn't expect Mayer to be this strong today. There's Cass Gralla back up to 3rd after the bad restart and getting knocked around for a bit. Ooh, we got the 51 is stopped off of turn 20. 51's on the front stretch here. Stopped. That might bring out a full course yellow. And then it would open up, do you want to pit here and go to the end of the race without pitting again? Because as this caution comes out here, they're right on the edge of making it. You can go about 20 laps. Maybe with cautions, you might go 21 or something. It's a big track. It's hard to say. I don't know how tough fuel mileage is here. They're going to stay green for the moment. He stopped to the inside of the front stretch last they showed. Sheldon Creed's in his own zip code. Boy, when they come over that hill there, it just looks like they're flying. Like you can't even tell that they're racing on a wet racetrack. When they come around that hill, getting ready to go to the hairpin down that long straightaway, they're going so fast. Okay, the 51's rolling again. 51 got it fired up. There's not going to be a yellow, so. They showed him driving away just now. Now, it's going to be interesting now. This new job I'm getting is part-time, and they said the schedule is really, relaxed. I wonder if they're going to really want me to work certain nights where I'm not going to want to work because there's a race on or something. Because my hours are 10 to 6. I'm 10 at night to 6 in the morning. Some Monday nights and Thursday nights, there's going to be some football games I want to watch, so we'll see. I already told them I can't work Fridays because that's the nights I play Friday the 13th with my friends. I didn't tell them that. I told them I got to look after my nephew on Friday nights. And I'll use that excuse on some Saturday nights, too. We'll see.
I love this. Andy, you could talk about
6-second lead for Creed.
How much load, not only left to right, but up and down, he's experiencing.
The biggest thing right now, it's not a lot of G-force, it's not a lot of load, which is actually the trickiest part here because he's just feathering in and out of that throttle, turning those wheels very smoothly. He's not cranking on the wheel, he's not just wrenching into the corner.
Top 10 is pretty well spaced out for the most part, except Gralla and Mayer for second and third.
There is no big loud noise flying out of those pipes. He is just creeping in and out. He's going from like quarter
I
throttle
definitely get why Creed was the favorite today.
three-quarter throttle coming out of 9.
I think when it comes down to it, head-to-head, he's going to outrace Gralla. I think he's going to drive harder and win the race. Unless Gralla's just really holding back. Because I think it's going to come down to the two of them. I think that'll be the battle for the win.
Down to turn 11. Hear that shift?
You've got to almost over-blip these shifts. So as these guys come in, the left foot breakers are just going to blip the gas as it comes, like, say, out of second gear into first gear. And as it's right in the middle there, they give it a little blip to match the rev so that you don't get that wheel hop in there. As it gets wetter, and as we see more drops, and we now see Sheldon, who was not running with his windshield wiper at the start of the stage, it's on now, and he's ready to go here. We're probably getting some little bits of mist on the back end of the track, and that's what's going to make that wheel hop match.
Ooh, Zane Smith got a flat left rear. Zane Smith spun out with a flat left rear. He's got a long way to go to get to pit road. He's just now going down the back straightaway. That's a long way to go on a rim. That's probably going to ruin his day.
So a tough break for Zane Smith. And there you see him already going around. Chandler Smith was behind him. Hard to tell there whether it was a...
Gilliland's really strong. Gilliland, Creed are going to outdrive Gralla.
Having their little battle and eventually getting him.
That's turn 16, 17, 18. That's that long triple right there. That's also where the most amount of water runs across the track. And one of the only places where in Xfinity qualifying, I was actually getting some hydroplaning.
That's John Hunter Nemechek behind Rhodes and Infinger.
Just a quiet day for John Hunter. Just top 10 all day, solid, but hasn't shown all the speed. But this guy has nearly won that first stage. But Casgrell, I think, has improved his truck. He's been able to run down Sam Mayer, put him behind him, and now starting to close in on our leader, Sheldon Creed.
Heading through the S's. There's Creed, the leader in the 2 truck, and Gralla coming up in the 0-2. Sam Mayer there behind him, and Tyler Ankrum, our pole winner from earlier today, running 4th. And there's Ben Rhodes in 5th.
Sort of reconfirming what we saw in that first stage with the strength of Creed and Gralla. We'll see. We've got the 15 slow in the front straightaway here. Looks like
Andy Lally said there's somebody slow on the front stretch.
75.
He's going again.
Tanner Gray, he's got it going again.
Of course, Parker Kligerman, and there's the 15 of Tanner
Couple of
Gray.
almost cautions on the front stretch today.
Just a few laps in, Kligerman had
21 made it to pit road finally.
He recovered to a 12th place position, Jamie. This team needs to do the same thing.
Yeah, so unfortunate for this GMS team. Zane Smith had so many high hopes. They had qualified 15th, but he worked his way up all the way to the top 3, and they had that issue. Didn't say anything on the radio about what exactly happened there. They got 4 fresh tires. Very unfortunate for him. We'll see what he can make up here.
There was no damage, so you kind of wonder how that could have happened. Usually, with the way these guys beat and bang, you figure there must have been contact that caused that.
Yeah, there was that left rear was clean.
At right front of the 32 truck, Sam Mayer. Talking about guys getting a little bit of damage from beating and banging.
Tyler Ankram's been really good today. He's been low-key really good here. Top 5 pretty much all race long. He's about to be top 3.
And we'll see a lot of that on the trucks throughout the field today. Tire they took off that 21 truck.
Hard to tell, try to diagnose anything on that because he drove on it for 3 miles on the way back in. So if there's sidewall damage, it's also likely from him just pounding around on it, trying to get back to pit lane as fast as possible. Look how low Sheldon comes off turn 20. He is getting that late apex.
The Camping World 20 to go.
Nose pointed, just like Kaz and Creed both have a very similar driving style there. I think if we see Gilliland make his way back up, we're going to see that crisscross.
And there's Ankram to 3rd. If he makes this pass at turn 1.
Get Mayer in the mix at those 4 as we
And he does.
Just past sort of halfway here.
Slides a little bit wide. Now Mayer's back to his outside.
Strong guys to the finish here, and if we can tighten
You just want to get that gas down and make the pass, and then you just go into a 4-wheel slide.
Different truck, very, very different driving.
Lawless Allen. Yeah, what a great name. I saw that name on an entry list and was like, Lawless Allen.
The Camping World Truck Series inaugural visit.
And you know we got another dose of strategy coming up. What guys decide to stay out.
Oh my God, we got more strategy, Michael Waltrip.
Sheldon Creed, see a little right
Stuart
rear
Friesen's on
damage.
pit road. The right rear is all fucking knocked in.
Stuart Friesen. And there is Creed, the leader. On the left-hand side of the screen.
Somebody hit one of them Echo Park signs and it's laying near the racetrack. Near the hairpin at the top of the hill.
Again, he's not using up that road. That's something to pay attention to. I don't want to give anything away to my Xfinity guys that I'm racing against later this afternoon, but that's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to learn how these guys are going to go quick, and there's so many different styles of doing it. He's on the dry line for braking. He's rolling it in. He's going to hold this apex very patient here. Doesn't track out, just gets the truck straight and then very smooth on that throttle to get a very good drive off.
On a scale of Dick Trickle to Lawless Allen, that's a pretty cool name.
He won stage 1, and then during his pit stop at the end of the stage, penalized for.
Remember that time Bob Jenkins said he's getting banged by Dick Trickle?
And had to go to the tail end.
And you know, I talked about strategy, Vince, and what we saw happen to
Bob Jenkins might have my favorite voice for an announcer I've ever heard in racing. I'm Bob Jenkins. He was like the most, as a kid, that was like my prototype announcer voice was Bob Jenkins because I played NASCAR 98 and NASCAR 99.
Overcome the issue that he has. He's already back fighting for a top 10 spot, so he knows he's fast, obviously. Now how does he overcome the mistake?
And that's it. That's into the top 10 right there. That was 2 spots and 2
Yep,
corners.
Gilliland just passed Derek Kraus and Parker Kligerman to get into the top 10. Mayer's coming to pit road.
They line up for that 3rd stage. It's been Sam Mayer to pit road. This is a bit early, but
It's about a lap early, but 4 to go in stage 2.
It's all about the strategy call. I just talked to Team Honor, Brett Hawks, and he said, we're here to win this race, so this was our plan.
You hear that, Kaz Grallis, guys? We're here to win this race. Now, y'all should pit this coming time as well.
Put 4 tires on and let him go. Regan.
16 of Austin Hill, then fighting
Most of our pitting. The 18 is pitting.
Wants an adjustment for that as well as the
Austin
drive
Hill.
on this truck. Really excited coming into this race.
I hope Kaz Gralla pits next time by.
Austin Hill, when it is a low grip racetrack, that's one of the guys that we look to the most. The rain, a little bit of a
windshield wiper on the 16. The crew member's just flipping it back over. He had to have a tough time seeing these last few laps.
It's Chandler Smith behind him in the 18, and now Haley Deegan is in for change.
Yeah, you can just tell.
Haley Deegan hanging in there.
Stops are just a little bit off today. You'll see a truck stop short. The guy's just standing there saying, all right, let's figure out where to go now. These teams are just looking for tenths of seconds when they're making these stops. So anything different in the way the truck approaches the box gets their attention.
You know, we talk about forward biting these trucks, but these guys are hopping over the wall. These pit crew members that are normally used to hopping over and laying into their shoes and really coming to a screeching halt to get those tires on when they're looking for those tenths of a second. They're slipping and sliding too. This pit lane is painted. There's a lot of painted stripes that you can slip on here, so those guys have to kind of go approach it 98% and just hit it smooth instead of sort of overdriving the pit crew and maybe make mistakes there too.
What about halfway through the race here in a NASCAR Camping World Truck Series event? And 35
We're halfway through this NASCAR Truck Series event.
That's how interesting this place is, and allows guys to use different strategies.
Michael
because
Waltrip.
lap times are so long.
Mikey's been less annoying
Right
lately.
now is running 35th.
Noticeably
Just
less
mark that
annoying.
down here
Maybe it's the
halfway,
weight loss.
and look where he winds up at the end of the race. He'll get back into this thing.
Absolutely. He's been quick.
Yeah, because he's trying to be a race car driver again.
Eckes in the 98. Chandler Smith, that we saw on pit road just a moment ago in that 18 truck, challenging Eckes for position. Two of the terrific young drivers in this series. Chandler Smith in that 18 truck, just 18 years old, and Eckes 20.
Wish the male would run.
These two for a long time to come.
Still splashing through a lot of water here.
Kaz Grala on pit
Andy
road.
Lally's losing his voice, like me. And I haven't even talked that much today. Now Kaz Grala's pitting. There you go. That's the call. Kaz Grala's on pit road with 3 to go in stage 2. Ren Finger's on pit road. John Hunter Nemechek. Parker Kligerman. Todd Gilliland.
Brandon Finger in the 9 this week. Remember, the only race he's missed this year, Daytona Road Course. Got up to speed really quickly here. They're in for 4 tires as well. Day's gone pretty smooth for the 19.
We'll have a shot at it now.
Laps here in stage 2.
I've been talking about Creed. We've been talking about our other strong runners, but looking at Ankrum here, I'm looking at his lap times, not just the fact that he's in second place, but he's been slowly creeping up here. Fastest truck on the last lap here, definitely going to be a contender here at the end of the race. He's been sort of sitting right around that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, just being quiet and chilling out, but man, his truck is quick.
Yeah, we've seen that all year, Andy. He's just had some issues along the way, but always fast and always competitive. Be good to see him string together a few finishes without any issues, and they'll all be in the top 5, I can promise you.
Thor Sport crew going to work on that 98 of Eckes. It's been a terrific season for the Thor Sport organization. Rhodes with a couple of wins already. Crafton 5th in the playoff standings coming into this race. Johnny Sauter top 10 in the playoffs as well. And Eckes and Grant Enfinger teaming up on
Damn,
that.
Ankram's catching Sheldon Creed here.
Formidable, as Tyler Ankrum is now hunting the race leader, Sheldon Creed.
I'm surprised by that. I pointed at Ankram was running really well. I didn't think he'd be running down Sheldon Creed here.
Maybe Ankram's coming to pit, but either way, he's been quick and definitely...
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they pit. I think you got to pit if you're these guys to give yourself a chance at winning. Track position's too important. 30 just got spun around. He got it going again. John Hunter Nemechek's got a penalty. Uncontrolled tire on John Hunter Nemechek.
Able to do that, not throw off too much mud onto the racing surface.
Creed and Ankrum are pitting with 3 to go in the stage.
I'm hearing uncontrolled tire, Andy.
Jamie Little, Tyler Ankrum is in.
So Creed and Ankrum both pit.
Just getting better as they run. He was too tight earlier, so they made some adjustments that really seemed to help the 26 truck. Tyler told me yesterday this is the single biggest challenge he has ever had in a truck.
I tell you who hasn't pitted, Derek Kraus, because he's up to 5th. Ben Rhodes takes the lead. Crafton second. They've not pitted. Kraus has not pitted. Bailey Curry's not pitted. So Rhodes going to get a stage win here. He's got a 4.5 second lead on Crafton with 2 to go, so I'm going to go ahead and say that Rhodes gets the stage 2 win.
Penalty for the forward Nemechek. As you see Ben Rhodes in the 99.
He's going to pick up,
Has assumed the lead.
he's going to pick up this playoff point. Wants to stay out. He can hang on for a lap. Got Matt Crafton bested by about 4 seconds. So just creep to this checkered, green and white checkered.
That's what it looks like from the bumper of the Ben Rhodes truck.
I don't like that.
No, I don't like it either. Thank goodness that's not the windshield view. Sport running 1-2.
Great run for Matt Crafton. Just steady, consistent driver. You know he's going to be good. Nice to see him up there running right in the second position.
A lot of points for Kraus. They probably need him. I don't think points are going to do Derek Kraus any good with the year he's had.
That pit stop, he's already back inside the top 5.
But they can say, hey, we got stage points.
The only thing he really is giving up is the win of the stage. But that's how important he thinks track position is. Be curious to ask Regan and Jamie.
So it'll be Creed, Ankrum, Gralla, 1, 2, 3 at the start of the next stage.
Really falling off.
Watch the right front here. Oh,
That's what we were talking about. Right
Yeah, Ankrum had a slow stop. The tire guy fell down.
Right on. Down goes Frazier.
slowed down that stop a bit, as you would expect.
He's still in really good position here. He's going to end up lining up P2 after the wave buys. Strong truck. Him and Creed, man, they built up such a gap that they're out here already in the top 5.
Look at that. Creed is 4th, Ankrum 6th, Gralla 7th.
Here's a look at that 26 of Ankrum.
And they're all 3 close together.
Like that combination.
And they'll be up front at the start of the 3rd stage.
Colors on that 26 machine. Ben Rhodes.
That part of the racetrack coming to turn 20 is definitely the most wet. I think Andy Lally said earlier he was hydroplaning a little bit there in Xfinity practice. Or qualifying today.
The pits to his left with some sweets above and the grandstand.
It's rained just enough to keep this track wet enough to keep wet tires on all day, because it's not been a downpour at any point during this race.
Wide open uphill, isn't it, Andy? So you got the.
It is way easier to get on those binders and try to shut that down. But with COTA, the tricky part of that is it's only fun for about 3/4 of the way through that brake zone, because in the last quarter you crest that hill to a plateau, a tabletop if you might say, and that front end gets light right as you're turning left. So as you creep into the corner, you start to come off that brake, that front end gets a little bit light, and it's really easy to hang up that left front. And in the rain, it's not such a penalty to carry a wet tire, sliding it a little bit, because it won't burn it down. In the dry, if we get some dry stuff for the Cup race tomorrow, or maybe for the later end of the Xfinity race today, that's a long time to drive on a flat spotted tire back around if you do some serious damage to it.
Rhodes off 10, headed to again another heavy braking zone in turn 11. And then the long drive down.
Turn 11. Looks a lot like turn 11 at Sonoma, only tighter, if you can believe it.
Speed they build up here in that 99 as he.
I've never seen so many hairpins on one big-ass racetrack.
Turn 12.
Then again, my limited exposure to cool road courses, because I'm a NASCAR guy, would have a direct impact on them.
And I could tell he was very level-headed, and man, just went out there and put on the show.
He gets it up a little bit faster than we were able to yesterday in that super event.
Yeah, thank goodness. Yeah, thank goodness you weren't going that fast. I mean, it was tough enough on me as fast as you were going.
You guys see that YouTube video of Kyle Busch speeding around in a fucking Supra on COTA? And when he hit those rumble strips, it sounded terrifying. I wouldn't have wanted to be in that car. I'd love to ride in a race car, a proper race car, with all the safety harnesses and shit, but being in that Supra with Kyle Busch speeding around, no thank you.
Flipping in and out, in and out. This is a tricky spot. This is an especially tricky spot here, because you think you've got some grip here, and then right as you cross the water here and get on that power, it opens up. You've got to be very smooth on and off that power.
Turn 19 and headed to turn
Ben
20.
Rhodes gonna win stage 2
Navigates it cleanly and
by 6 seconds over Matt
make his
Crafton.
way to
Now the real race begins.
First stage win of 2021 for Ben Rhodes.
So Rhodes, Crafton, and Derek Kraus is about 15 seconds behind them.
And a playoff point.
And then you got Creed, Ankrum, Curry, who didn't pit, and Gralla.
He won the road course in Daytona.
I'll be right back. I'm thirsty. Goddamn mail still hasn't run. Yeah, I watched that I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall, Fred Taylor, Chad Johnson, Dale Jr. That was really cool. I wouldn't mind riding in a race car like that. I wouldn't be a little bitch like they were, but in a passenger car going that fast? Fuck no. Fucking mail still hasn't run. It's 2:30. I want my car. Another stream, another Pepsi Zero Sugar Wild Cherry 2-liter. Man, Ingles better not want me to start tonight. Pretty sure they gotta do the background check and all that bullshit, so it'll probably be like Tuesday before I get to go. Or God forbid, tomorrow. My beautiful long hair looks on point so I can charm them during the follow-up interview. I ain't got to charm nobody. We got the job already.
Here's your chance.
Oh my God. Fucking commercials. Let's get on with this. We're going to be cutting it close depending on how long Ingles takes to missing the start of the Xfinity race. But if I miss the start of the Xfinity race, don't worry. I will be here. I will stream what I can. I don't think I'm going to miss the start, but I might miss the start. But I'll be back after the truck race is over. Like we'll finish the truck race, then I got to run, and then I'll come back. But hopefully Casgralla will win me some money here. Oh, this Ric Flair commercial is just fucking sad and pathetic. That is a man who did not manage his money well. Ric Flair. Ric Flair just makes me fucking sad. I'm not like, oh my God, that's the Nature Boy. That's Ric Flair. Woo! I get sad when I look at Ric Flair. And as a Shawn Michaels fan, I'm like, fuck this guy. Anyway, that's a wrestling discussion. My pick's Casgralla. Caden. Casgralla can win me $11. I'll be rich!
And the Philadelphia Phillies. For two of the greatest rivalries in baseball. Out west, it's the Dodgers taking on the NL West leading Giants. For the Cubs and Cardinals, the top two teams in the National League Centrals. Tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Racing presented by Blue Emu. Today here at Circuit of the Americas, and you can see the raindrops on
Starting to rain now.
Camera lens starting to pick up a little bit.
Just in time for stage 3.
Ben Rhodes has earned the most points here. Just earning those stage points. Sheldon Creed has given some away. That's all part of their strategy. So differing strategies, differing plans. And, you know, Jamie, I just mentioned...
Going to be interesting in the Xfinity race later. A lot of Cup guys.
Now,
A lot of Cup guys driving for B and C level teams in the Xfinity race later. That's when I like seeing the Cup guys. I like seeing the Cup guys drive for teams that are on par with most of the teams in the Xfinity series. That makes me happy. Of course, Kyle Busch driving the fucking 54. But Harvick, Reddick, and all them guys, they're driving for lesser teams.
I love the job that you and Regan do bringing us those stories. Thank you down there.
Pick for Xfinity is AJ Allmendinger
There's Ben Rhodes.
at a whopping $6.
His teammate, the 88. As we get ready for this
Pit
restart.
road is open.
Pit road for stops. Ben Rhodes heading Regan's direction. Regan?
Well, that's Ben Rhodes, one of those trucks with a set of tires left as they get ready to pit right now. He has been just tighter and tighter as the run goes on right now. That's his biggest issue. Need some front turn out of that truck. The 88 of Matt Crafton, the right-handers in particular are an issue for him. Can't get that truck to go as well as he would like to there. Asked to get those fixed. And the 19 of Derek Krause having a great run. He's been very happy all day long. Quiet on the radio. A team that really could use a strong finish.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot go their way, that's for sure. Regan, that 19 group with Derek Krause. Some good fortune coming their way today would certainly be a blessing. It's been a wet one here in Austin. Final stage next.
I said earlier, my pick for tomorrow hinges on a combination of how they looked in practice, where they qualify in the morning, and is it going to rain or not tomorrow. Right now, it looks like it's going to rain tomorrow, just like today. Oh, Michael. Yeah, Michael, I cringed so hard when I clicked on I Am Athlete, and it said, Bubba Wallace is the Tiger Woods of NASCAR. I'm like, dude, not even fucking close. What else do they have in common other than they're black? Like, look, I love Bubba. I cheer for Bubba. I want to see Bubba do well, but he is not the fucking Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods won shit. That's how Tiger became Tiger. He won shit, okay? Bubba won some truck races, and he's underperformed this year in his big new opportunity so far. So, yeah, I cringed when I saw that, because I'm like, it's the Danica thing all over again. It's literally the Danica thing, and I don't want to dislike Bubba. I like Bubba, but it's that fucking Danica bullshit all over again. Good God, even Dale Jr. was bullshitting about Danica on I Am Athlete. Danica came in and she showed that she could run very well and compete at a high level under the right circumstance. No, she didn't. She didn't do any of that. I was surprised to hear Junior say that. I'm like, Junior, you're fucking lying, bro. Hey, Caden, we saw what happened in the Xfinity Series when Kyle Busch didn't drive for Gibbs. He didn't do shit. Kyle drove for his own team. Couldn't do shit. Kyle drove for Hendrick and was never that great in the Busch Series. He's got to drive for Gibbs. He can't drive for himself or anybody else, or he won't do what the fuck. At least my guy, Dale Jr., could win driving his own stuff, unlike Kyle Busch in the Xfinity Series. Calling Bubba the Tiger Woods of NASCAR would have been like if somebody said, oh, Danica Patrick, she's the fucking Michael Schumacher of NASCAR. It's like, what? Not even close, sir. And I say that as a Bubba fan. I've got a Bubba Wallace shirt right over there. I bought a shirt at Charlotte at the 2018 Coke 600. I bought a 43 Bubba Wallace STP shirt. It's too big for me now because I lost like 80 fucking pounds, but I've still got it. I know a car he can't win in an Xfinity, his own. He couldn't win in his own. That's why he sold it to fucking Gibbs, started driving for them again the next year and won like 12 fucking races because he couldn't win driving his own shit. That whole Bubba's the Tiger Woods NASCAR thing was coming from some football players that want him to be the Tiger Woods of NASCAR. And I'm like, dude, it's not even close. He'll never be that good. At best, he can hope to be the next Jamie McMurray, I think. I think Bubba has the potential to be a Jamie McMurray level guy, win a race or two here and there, have some good years, but no, he's never going to be a top guy. Never. He just doesn't have it. I've watched Bubba enough at this point, the last 6, 7 years, whatever it's been, to know that he's nothing special. He's just okay. He's good in the right circumstances. Like Junior said about Danica, in the right circumstances, even though Danica had all the right circumstances, but couldn't do shit. Ooh, Haley Deegan looked hot in that video. I'm sorry. And their little hot video coming back from commercial, they showed Haley Deegan. I was like, oh, hello.
Welcome back to the Toyota Tundra 225.
13 to go. Creed, Ankrum, Mayer, Gralla. We're going green. 13 to go. It rained a bit during the commercial. Track looks wet again for the most part. Stage 3. This is for the money. Gralla and Creed get a great start. And now this is going to be the most aggressive turn 1 you've seen all day, I guarantee it. Austin Hill 3 wide with Gilliland and Mayer for 4th.
Fighting for position.
Ankrum underneath Gralla for 2nd, and Creed's just powering up, getting ready to go to the S's here. Creed launches so much better than everybody on restarts. Austin Hill and Todd Gilliland racing hard. Gralla settles into 2nd for the time being. He's got pressure from Ankrum though, but he's got to get after Creed now. You can't let Creed get out there with that big lead. God. Gilliland almost got run off the S's. Racing with Austin Hill.
Just slipping and sliding, yet making it all work out.
3-truck breakaway at the front. About to be 4. Gilliland finally got clear of those guys behind him, and Mayer packs it in and hits the 42 of Hocevar. They both save it.
Got him a piece of a couple of trucks.
Look at Parker Kligerman. Kligerman just he passed 2 trucks. Now Kligerman's like 6th place, I think. Ankrum underneath Gralla for 2nd. Gilliland goes wide like he always does. Down this long straightaway, we got some spins in the back. It's Parker Kligerman. Parker Kligerman, who's backing up. Now he's turning it back around. So they'll take Kligerman out of contention. He looked like he was going to make something happen there. Gralla got by Ankrum for 2nd, and here comes Ankrum back to his inside. They can't let Creed get away.
Ankrum won the pole earlier today in qualifying, and he has been sporty all day long.
2nd place is just back and forth.
There they are, running right there side by side for 2nd.
They better get it sorted out because Creed's driving away, and here comes Gilliland.
Todd Gilliland, after his penalty, is now in a position to
4-truck breakaway, and it's the 4 most consistent trucks all day long.
Choosing to use up that exit out of the tightest turn 15 there.
Gilliland fighting back from a penalty. If Gilliland wins this, I'll take back almost everything I've ever said about him.
A lot of time. That's almost a half an hour when you're driving around the wet at COTA, and they're pushing it.
Kyle Busch did not ever win a single race in the 54 driving for himself. He never did. Kurt Busch won in the 54, but Kyle Busch did not win in the 54 driving for himself. He didn't win in the 54 until he drove for Gibbs.
I pointed out earlier that 6 laps and 20 turns, that's 120 turns. I'm not capable of doing the 13 laps.
As soon as he sold it back to Gibbs, he won like 12 races or something.
There's a lot to ask out of these tires.
That's 260 turns, and these guys are pushing in the grind. You want to be that clear windshield out front.
And there's a reason Kyle usually only runs the 1.5 in the truck series, is because he knows he's got an engine advantage. So, of course, Kyle always runs 1.5 in the truck series because he knows that's where his advantage will be the most strongest. Why else would he run Kansas and Kentucky and Las Vegas and bullshit like that every year? You would think Kyle would want to run more places like Martinsville and Bristol more often than he does. But most of his scheduling trucks is always 1.5 miles.
Trying to get up toward the top 15.
Run 17th. Haley Deegan right behind you, and you've got the view there from the 99 of
Ankrum still within a second of Creed.
the 4 of John Hunter Nemechek. A little bit of misfortune. He gets a penalty for an uncontrolled tire, and so he was supposed to do a pass through, but right after that.
Oh, we got a spinner. Derek Krause. What a surprise. He can't catch a break. Hopefully he can get that thing looped. Oh my God. 2 trucks just came screaming by Derek Krause facing the other way. He got it turned back around at least. He's trying to get it fired up. There it goes. No yellow. We stay green. 3 trucks within a second of each other for the lead up front. Creed, Ankrum, and Gralla.
Sheldon Creed to get the victory there. And today's just been mediocre for him. Hasn't been a real story of this race, and maybe the first race in
4 trucks under a blanket. This battle for the win is going to be, if these 4 guys stay on each other like this is going to be the craziest race you've ever seen.
We'll see if he has that type of persistence today.
Well, speaking of persistence, Tyler Ankrum continuing to hound Sheldon Creed for the lead.
I'll give Bubba one thing in Cup this year. He's been consistently average. But, I mean, they're a young team. That's something at least. They're finishing races. And he's ahead of the 43 in points, which is all he really needs. And for me, I just want to see Bubba finish well ahead of the 43 in the standings. And right now he's working on it. We got a battle for the lead. Ankrum's to the inside of Creed, coming out of 20. Creed just gets that launch off the corner no matter what line he's running. He gets off the corner better than anyone. He launches so good. And him and Ankrum gapped Gralla and Gilliland going down the front stretch.
He's 14th in the playoff standing, 65 points out of a playoff spot. But if he would win this race, he'd be in. And that would really shuffle the
This is going to be great going down to the finish here.
Like, we didn't need that aggravation, but Tyler Ankrum is a winner, and he can go to victory lane any truck race we have. Today, no exception.
Oh, Tanner Gray gets spun around.
Tanner Gray has gone around in the 15.
At turn 1, he's rolling. He'll be fine.
Fired up
and the 33's got big damage from that, I think.
And the battle tightens up.
Ankrum again on these entries into the corner. He closes up on Creed, but Creed just launches off.
He's holding the gap there. I really think Ankrum's our fastest truck on the track. I think Creed is maybe just being smart, maybe saving his tires a little bit. And
look at that launch off that corner again. That's amazing. That's just something that the only truck that can hang with him on that, I think, is Gilliland. I don't think anybody else can hang with him on exit.
How difficult is it to do what Sheldon Creed is?
It's like he has a 5th gear when they come off a corner and get on the gas.
To not use his stuff up.
Well, it certainly helps when you're locked into the playoffs already. It certainly helps when you've won this championship already, and it definitely is something where you're looking at the guy in the mirror, and you gotta play yourself to that too. You gotta look at Ankrum and be like, man, this kid is sitting.
I love road courses.
He's gonna be desperate. And
we seem to get a lot of finishes like these now on road courses, especially in trucks and Xfinity, because these 4 guys are all over each other. Anybody here can win this. They've got a 4 or 5 second gap over 5th place Enfinger, so it's down to these 4.
As the leader, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, who you would think would be getting spray up on their windshield, don't have their windshield wiper going.
Ooh, Creed went really wide. They're all going wide. God, I'm not used to them going that wide. It's crazy.
Taking 1, maybe 2 seconds away to focus your eyes on the windshield wiper button and flip it up when you forgot to turn it on after the restart, or shut it off when you're showing.
Oh, Stuart Friesen got turned. John Hunter was involved. They get it going. A lot more guys getting spun out now. A lot of guys are getting run over. We've seen more spin outs than we've seen since the beginning of stage 1. Stage 2 was pretty clean.
It's been pretty amazing how many little spins we've seen without any contact.
10 to go.
We've seen a truck hit a wall yet.
Starting to see
like I said, lots of open space and runoff area. That's why you're not seeing wrecks. You're just seeing spins. Gralla goes really wide at turn 1. Looking for moisture, I guess. But that let Gilliland get to his inside for 3rd place. Andy Lally said he saw a wheel hop from Gralla. I thought he was just looking for moisture. But yeah, Gilliland's 3rd now. Not going to win any money on this one, folks, unless something miraculous happens.
Speculating about how much these guys might be saving. Take a listen to the report that we just got that they gave Todd Gilliland a few laps ago.
That part of the racetrack looks really dry. Turn 9, 10, and 11, it looks really dry up there. That is bone fucking dry.
There you have it. These guys are telling him to save his tire.
Another wrinkle to this race. Look how dry that is. Turns 9, 10, and 11 are pretty damn dry. You're going to have to run on the paint.
You've got to think about as a driver, as a crew chief right now, you know tempers are going to start to flare.
You've already seen tempers flaring. A lot more guys getting run over.
What's the crazy call to potentially go to slicks if these guys are really worried about that rain tire going away?
Tyler Ankrum continues to pressure his GMS teammate.
Ankrum got a great run off the corner that time. He finally matched Creed on exit.
Very tough to hold the outside of turn.
Can't hold that outside there.
He's doing it. He's on the paint though.
Oh.
Wow. He's gonna have it coming into 15.
I think Ankram's going to get him here.
Smooth bit of driving right there. I think if he could put the power down here, we're going to see him pull away.
Runs Creed a little wide, and Ankrum takes the lead, but not for long. Creed gets back to him. Here they come around that big right-hander with Creed on the inside. They door each other at turn 18. Here they go to 19. Four-wheel slide, and Gilliland is running them down. Ankrum clears and takes the lead by a mile. Ankrum's got the lead, and Gilliland's coming. Man, what a drive by Tyler Ankrum. I didn't think he'd be able to pull this off with the way Creed was looking on corner exits.
Creed has company with Todd Gilliland right behind him.
9 to go.
Coming along too.
Todd Gilliland said, y'all do that some more. That was fun to watch. And by the way, I'll be there in just a second.
You better go side by side on this. I don't want another full screen commercial. This racing's too good for the lead right now.
Camping World Truck Series at COTA.
They're going to go to full screen commercial, ain't they? Oh, you bastards. Full screen commercial. Come on, man. There's 4 trucks on top of each other for this win. This better be the last fucking full screen commercial break. Cup drivers made the Xfinity Series unwatchable for about a decade, so I'm happy with limitations. I think, excuse me, the limitations are too strict. I think like 6 races or whatever it is too strict. I'd hold them to 8 races maybe. And I'd also prefer Cup guys not drive for Cup teams in Xfinity, but like I said, that's why I'm okay with today, because Harvick's driving for the Harvick's 5 car. I mean, that's the definition of a back marker, and Kevin Harvick's driving it today. Watching the leaderboard, Ankrum's still leading, Creed's still second, Gilliland's third. Grallis dropped back considerably from these guys now. I don't think he's going to be a factor anymore. Want to talk about winning a lot of races driving your own shit? Dale Jr. won a lot of races driving Chance 2 cars, and he won driving the 3 car that he won at Daytona with was a Junior Motorsports car that was prepared by Junior Motorsports, but Richard Childress was listed as the car owner because it was his number and his sponsor. But that 3 car from Daytona in 2010, that's a Junior Motorsports car. Chance 2 was Dale Jr. stuff. So I always liked when Junior would jump in and drive those cars. Remember that time Dale Jr. swept Bristol, but nobody made a big deal about it because it wasn't Kyle Busch? Now, they didn't know about Kyle Busch yet, but back in the day, we didn't come in our pants over every single Busch Series win like we do now. Although I remember when David Gilliland became a Cup driver simply because he got lucky and won 1 fucking Busch race. He's been living off that ever since. That was the good old days of NASCAR when things were going so well. You could live off of one. You get one Busch win, and you'd be like job for life. Okay, we're back.
Back at COTA, great battles for position. Todd Gilliland in the 38. The white truck is Sheldon Creed.
Wow, Gilliland just powered by Creed coming off a 20. He hit him a little bit, went wide, and Creed passes him back. That's the race for second. And that's the best thing for Tyler Ankrum. He's got a 2-second lead now, it says. Because Gilliland and Creed are killing each other right now. And instead of watching the race, we're showing a commercial for a race tomorrow that we all know about.
Race day starts at 1 o'clock Eastern, followed by the green flag 2:30, all on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
All right, that's cool. Can I see what's going on? Can I see what's going on? Literally everybody that's watching this knows about the race tomorrow. Can we see the fucking race? They are still showing the fucking commercial. Christ alive. 8 to go. Tyler Ankrum somewhere. We can't see him. There he is. Gilliland's cleared to second. Creed's falling back a bit. Gilliland's going to have something for Ankrum here. Michael, stay alert.
And now Gilliland's going to put some pressure.
Yeah, Gilliland's going to really bring the heat here.
You see the margin.
He was 2 seconds behind a lap ago, and now he's right there on Ankrum's ass going down the front stretch with 7 laps to go.
That 38 is big and brave on these brakes, and we're seeing him go.
Todd Gilliland, fucking road course ringer all of a sudden.
The
Hopefully they'll spin and bring Gralla back into this.
I think that's what he's going to set up to set.
Gralla's 4.5 seconds behind.
That's the voice of Andy Lally, and Andy will be running in the Xfinity Series race later this afternoon in that 23 car, so give you somebody to root for later today.
Yeah, come on, Gilliland. I'm with you now, Michael. I like Ankrum better, but for your sake, I'm cheering for Gilliland. I don't like Gilliland, but I'll cheer for him now.
I'll tell you, these are a couple of guys that really have a lot to race for. Both of them get a win, it changes their whole season. And Andy, I'm curious, it appears from what we've seen all day, Todd just gets better and better. How important is it and how hard is it for him to be patient over these next few laps, or does he want to pounce now and get the lead?
You know, we heard his crew tell him hang out. There's still 7
There's
laps
turn
to
11.
Go.
Wow.
Right?
Look how close Gilliland got in 11. He gives it up on exit a little bit because he runs so wide, but God, he can close in that fast. And all he's got to do is put the bumper to him once. It killed him on exit that time, though.
That's what everybody wants to do here on the road courses.
But that's a lot of ground to make up on corner entry. That's remarkable. He can dive bomb you from like almost an entire second back. There he is again. Harder into the corner than Ankrum. Now the roles reversed. Ankrum was driving in harder than Creed was. Now Ankrum's taking it easy because he's in first and Gilliland's the one packing it in. Now he's crisscrossed into the inside. Through that little horseshoe corner right in the middle of the racetrack. This is just a matter of time, I think. Stage 1 showed me all I need to know about what's going to happen here. And Ankrum goes wide. Almost put the right sides in the dirt.
Gotten much wider without getting into the gravel. Ankrum and Gilliland following right to the spot, almost as deep.
Now watch the 38 here. The 26 stays on line, stays between the lines. The 38 is going to swing way wide.
Here they come to 19.
And then dive to the inside.
Gilliland's got it here going to 20. He's to the inside, and that's the move. That's the race right there. Unless he misses this corner. Ankrum, ooh, swung back to the inside. Ankrum takes the lead back. I thought that was going to be the move if Gilliland didn't get taut. But he got taut, and Ankrum takes it back. Now going to turn 1, Ankrum's taking a defensive line here. He's running shallow into the corner. 6 to go. Gilliland kind of diamonds the corner, which is interesting for a road course. through these S's here. Somebody's going to bust their ass through the S's here, and it might be Gilliland. Good God almighty. Just hanging on to the racetrack. I thought he was going off.
That's one of those places that it's just a no-go. You're single file through here. It's going to be extremely tough not to make contact through here. Still 6 laps to go.
Radio from the 38 of Gilliland.
I think the Xfinity race might be able to start on on slick tires if it doesn't rain again, because it's looking pretty dry out here.
That water cools the tires, helps them live, and these guys are using all their tires.
I hope they blow their tires out and Grala's back there taking care of his shit.
Those tires will be really crucial right now because
Here we go again. Gilliland dive bomb. Turn 11. Dive bomb. He's going to clear Ankrum, but can he get off the corner well enough? No, he doesn't. He goes wide again. Here comes Ankrum. Oh, but Gilliland just stays clear. Bump draft down the straightaway. Gilliland did just enough to get clear. I thought he was going to go wide, and Ankrum was going to sweep by him again, but he didn't.
Down to about 155 miles per hour into this.
Swings wide to get that arc into the corner. Now Ankrum's to his inside, and Gilliland's locking up the tires a little bit. Now Ankrum takes the lead back. And now Gilliland takes it back because Ankrum got out on the paint and spun the tires. Now that's Gilliland. That's the gap he needs. Ankrum went wide and spun all 4 tires on the paint where it's really slick. And that's the move. That's it. That's Gilliland's race right there.
See those 2 white trucks back there, Creed and Grala. They're lurking. They're not out of contact. These guys have overdriven their tires.
Creed the 2, Grala the 0-2. Grala started on the front row, and they have both had their share of time at the front. In fact, Creed's led the most laps. Grala's led the second.
Coming to 5 to go, and Gilliland's got a nice gap now. He's got a good enough gap to hold on and win this, I think. He just can't make a mistake.
Tyler Ankrum, who runs second in desperate
5 to go here. There's a lot of chances to make mistakes. Grala underneath Creed for 3rd.
Ankrum desperate for a win, whereas Gilliland right now, points-wise, is looking pretty good.
But man, he wants that insurance, that's for sure. Get that win, and you could breathe easier, take chances, do some different strategies.
How about our Blue Emu race summary?
Look at Kaz.
Kaz again, trying to make the pass on Creed. Is that the sun coming out?
Nice job around the outside here.
Boy, that was a great turn.
I saw a lot of light shining off the front of the 0-2. Grala moves into 3rd.
Held up here for the last couple laps. Maybe this is his time now if he's been saving those rears. That as the 38 and the 26 battle, he can close in.
There's not much of a battle now. The 38's driven away from Ankrum.
There you have it. Todd Gilliland, our race leader, and 33 of our 36 trucks on the lead lap. And it has been 2 cautions for 2 laps. I mean, it's been, I can't express enough how good a job these guys have done behind the wheel under these conditions. Conditions not bad now, but earlier in this race, if you're just joining us, I mean, it was treacherous.
Blue Emu maximum pain relief. These boys are going to need it. They've been sawing on that wheel. This is a real challenge.
And this track is getting drier, so this challenge is only increasing here as these
It's as bright as it's been there all day, and that track is as dry as it's been all day. It's amazing how fast it can dry out like that. You'd think as much as it rained today, it would just stay wet. It's pretty dry now.
9 and 10 there. The track is almost completely dry at the top of the hill here. But even when we get down to the middle of the back straightaway here,
Xfinity crew chiefs have got a lot of thinking to do. Is it going to rain in the next hour and a half before the race starts?
Making almost like a mist effect to where the rest of that corner is very slimy. And man, I know I've said.
Well, remember, if they start on slicks, they can throw a caution if the track gets wet, so everybody can put their little rain tires on instead of letting them make the big boy decision themselves.
That was at like 5,000 RPM. These things rev to 9,000 RPM before you got to hit the chip and get to the next gear. But they don't want it up there because there's no way you're going to keep that forward bike going. You want to just get that short shift, get that torque, and smooth into the throttle like we see the 2 doing here.
Oh, wow, the 98 is junk. He's rolling, but the left front's locked up, and that whole side is punched in. So, yeah, Eckes is fucked. He's going down the long straightaway now. He's got a ways to get to pit road, but he's driving on 3 wheels. No idea what happened there. Come on, put it out. I'm just kidding.
Starting to shed some debris in the process.
4 to go.
Todd Gilliland, 4 laps
Gilliland
remaining.
comfortably out front.
Gilliland saying
Because
no
Clint
pressure,
Boyer's not here to
no
run into him like he did James
Just
Davis on
hang
Wednesday
on to
night.
this thing. I'm just curious, Andy, if the caution flies, or if someone wanted to take a chance right now, say they're running outside the top 10, and put on slicks, is it dry enough for that? Is it, if you wanted to throw a Hail Mary?
Here's the thing. I want to see somebody do that so that when I race in a couple hours, I can figure out if that's the call. Boy, that is a tough one. But I tell you what, if you're sitting outside the top 10 right now, Hail Mary, do it. Put those slicks on.
Why not pit now?
You know this.
If I'm running the back, I'll pit now and put my slicks on, and hopefully we'll catch a yellow here in the next 4 laps. It's unlikely to catch a yellow, but God, look how dry the track looks now. And the sun is coming out. That's the sun. It's a miracle. God damn it, I picked AJ Allmendinger because I was counting on rain today. This is not good for my Xfinity chances later with Kyle Busch in the field.
It's still going to be pretty wet, and in some of the tighter, what I think we're calling the grandstand section there, turn 12, 13, 14, 15 is still quite wet, and that's why we're seeing those little puddles on the side of the road here. When the trucks hit that, they bring that moisture up in the air, and that track stays damp. So you're going to be hero through 9 and 10 and crush everybody through here. Then you're going to get to the apex of 12 right here, and boy, hold on, because you're going to be spinning the tires coming off of these corners.
Todd Gilliland with more than a 4-second advantage.
Your front tires were a lot more worn out than your rears. You've got a huge lead.
They're telling Gilliland to chill. He's got a big lead. And Grala's putting pressure on Ankrum for second.
Boy, that's surprising to hear that the fronts are wearing more than the rears with all that power coming down here.
As much as they're locking up in the corner, I think front tires wearing out the most here makes sense because now the track's dry. They're not spinning the tires coming off the corner, but they're locking them up going in hard on the brakes.
Second place Tyler Ankrum on that lap alone needs to start pedaling, but I don't think Kaz Grala's out of this thing yet. He's cleared Creed, he's up ahead of Sheldon, and he's all over.
Hopefully Grala can get by Ankrum here and something might happen.
With the 38 there, he was big on the brakes, and that's where he was making his move. So you can transfer that much weight and then crank that wheel.
Got to get by Ankrum first.
Or the right, and you're gonna tear those treads off.
Creed's holding up Enfinger in 4th. Enfinger's pretty fast right now. 3 to go. Sun is out.
Great job by Grant again. Just getting a lot out of the 9 truck. Top 5 run right now.
Just 3 laps remaining. And you know, so often we see at the end of these road course races a little bump and run at the finish, or sometimes it's more just dump and run.
We've seen a lot of dump and runs. There, Grala takes second place from Ankrum. Here we go, Michael. Mono e mono. Mono e mono. Grala, I need everything you got. 3 to go. I need everything you got. I know he's got to have more tire left than Gilliland has, as hard as Gilliland's driving to get around Ankrum for the lead.
And Grala, Jamie, is going. His lap times are the same. He's closing a bit on.
Hell yeah. Michael, I'm coming.
Next few laps, who saved enough tires to get to the finish?
I'm going to hate that I got to rush off here as soon as this race is over, because I'd want to sit and celebrate this. If it happens.
A corner, he's going to be on his bumper coming to the checker here.
Man can do some math.
I have something here. Andy Lally's doing the math, getting my hopes up. Coming to 2 to go.
String out a little bit, but boy, Grala, I'm looking at these section times, looking at these last laps. Ankrum's got the fight.
Grala really saved at the start of the run when Gilliland was busting ass. We'll see if it evens out any as Grala's trying to chase him down. If he can do enough to even get to him.
Man, that is so frustrating, Vince, when you run all day long and you put yourself in a position to win the race, and that leader's just...
Ankrum's got nothing left.
Like, I gotta go get him. Just don't have enough truck to do it.
And a good battle for 4th with Sheldon Creed and Grant Enfinger.
I'd like to applaud NASCAR for being really lax today with the yellows. Creed and Enfinger for 4th.
I've driven around COTA for 8 years now, but I'm still learning a lot today watching these guys. I'm looking at Sheldon Creed here. The second time he's tried to do the crisscross underneath in the 16.
Oh yeah, when Gilliland won Martinsville and he was mad at Kyle Busch, that was funny.
There's a lot of guys playing Cup and Xfinity.
And I was on Kyle Busch's side because I thought Gilliland was trash, to be honest with you. I've never been a Gilliland fan. I've never been impressed with him. 2 to go. They're in turn 1 right now, Gilliland. I think he's going to hang on here.
There's 2 laps remaining.
I don't think Grala's going to get there.
20 turns, 3.4 miles.
But he was gaining a bit.
Gilliland continues to stretch the advantage.
He stretched that advantage to 8 seconds, and he has just set the fastest lap of the race.
Gilliland just ran the fastest lap of the race now that the track is dry.
Just on that lap.
Coming to 2 to go,
Amazing.
Gilliland ran the fastest lap of the race.
If I'm his crew chief right now, I'm screaming at him. He does not need to be setting fast lap right now. He
Nah, run as fast as you can.
Save those fronts, save those riffs, whatever he's been worried about. There's that crew chief, arms folded, he's squeezing his elbows and trying to get his guy who's fast as heck to just realize, man,
Gilliland
I got
could
this in the
cruise
bag.
now
I just
with that
cruise
advantage
home.
from that
Back
last
this
lap.
thing
He
up,
really
save your
revved
truck,
it up.
Be smart and don't risk any punctures or anything crazy here.
Chris Lawson, the crew chief on that 38, as you see Haley Deegan chasing Parker Kligerman. She got by Matt Crafton.
Yeah, made a nice move around Matt and chasing Parker there for another solid finish. Haley just gets, we've said it before, but it's every lap of the race, she just gets better and better and gets more comfortable with her surroundings and her truck and really closes well. Impressive run.
Impressive run considering she got dumped coming into turn 20
Be right back.
here and lost a bunch of spots in the middle of the race here as made her way back through.
We got a nervous crew. They're all over the radio telling Todd to take it easy. He doesn't need to slip and slide through the center of a turn. He's doing a great job, but it's pretty impressive, Andy, on those old tires, fastest lap of the race just now.
I tell you, I mean, when you got a kid that can drive.
My car's here, but I can't open it because there's 2 to go, and I'm getting ready to run off to Ingles for a little bit. Michael, I'm trying to jinx you here. Congratulations. You got like a lap to go. Ooh, the 56 is stopped in the middle of the racetrack. Put it out, put it out, put it out. Oh, Haley Deegan almost ran into the back of the 56. Put it out, put it out, put it out, put it out. God damn it. Gilliland's taking the white flag. God damn it. White flag. Okay, they let him have the white. That's fair. And the 18 is stuck. Oh, boy, we might end this race under yellow. The 18 stuck in the sand. The 56 was stopped. I don't know if he's still stopped. Nah, the 56 is rolling again, but the 18 stuck in the sand. I got to get ready to jump off here as soon as this is over, guys, and then I'll be back later for the Xfinity race. Hopefully, I won't miss the start.
Look at Gilliland with a 7-second lead.
But my junior car is here.
Canadian Tire Motorsports Park back in 2018. It looked like Gilliland was going to win that race. And you see his dad, David Gilliland, there in the black hat and the nervous fingers tapping on the rail. But Todd was going to win at Canada, and Noah Gregson got into the back end of him, and the two of them collided, and Justin Haley came through and snuck out the win. And Gilliland, so bitter, he felt like he had that one, and he deserved it, and he didn't get it that day, but he is on his way to a little redemption here today at COTA.
His dad looks calm and collected, but those fingers tapping on that rail tell a different story. I'm sure he is nervous as he's ever been about these last few corners.
11 of 20 laps, 11 of 20 corners complete. He's on his way down to 12. He's just got a tip.
Gilliland just cruising.
Section on the course. Be smart. Bring it home. I'm sure his crew's on the radio telling me 7.5 seconds up.
Come on, complete this last lap, and I'm gonna jump off here. Race for second. Grala and Ankram's heated up again.
Last one at Martinsville in October of 2019.
I think Grala will hang on, and once again, I picked the second place. Michael, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to finish second again. It just dawned on me. This is like the 85th time this season I've picked who finishes second.
Sometimes you win one, Mike, and you think, oh, I'm going to do that many more
Seriously.
times throughout the course of my career. And
Come on, Ankram, pass him so I can just say I didn't pick the second place guy again.
that's why you value those wins. And as he makes his way through.
This is like Kyle Busch in the 2009 Nationwide Series. I'm just second every fucking week. God, Gilliland's still driving the shit out of it, man. You got one corner left and a huge lead. Calm down. Off turn 20.
One turn to negotiate. That's turn 20, and he'll bring it.
Todd Gilliland wins.
Todd Gilliland wins the inaugural Camping World Truck
Let me see who finishes second.
Circuit of the Americas.
Todd Gilliland wins COTA. Side by side for second if we can see it. We don't get to see it because they're showing David Gilliland in the pits. Kaz Gralla second. All right, guys, I got to run. I will be back for the Xfinity race. Michael, congratulations. I'll see you in about